Hello and welcome to another episode of the Never a Straight Answer podcast, the podcast that aims to cover a wide range of topics from conspiracy theories to popular culture and news. I'm your host Gaz, and joining me in the studio, he's a total cult, he's Mr. Taylor.
Yes, I am, and that's what it says on my birth certificate. So,
well, don't forget, we stand tall, taller than Tom Cruise, because he's fucking tiny. Yes, welcome to the show.
He's got his shoes on.
His platforms.
Yeah, he's got his platform.
Well, welcome to another episode of the Never a Straight Answer podcast.
Everybody out there. Hope you're having a good time. If you're not, do so.
Welcome back to another episode.
Yeah.
Thank you, new listeners and repeat offenders. We've got a great episode for you this week.
We have. We may be putting ourselves in a bit of trouble through doing this one.
We might end up being like, what is it, excommunicado to the whole.
Yeah, but you know what? Fuck it.
Okay, this week we've been looking forward to this topic actually, because I mean it's got a little bit or a lot of everything really, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's got zings.
And you guys have been asking for it.
You have.
So we thought, why not?
It.
We're going to cover it. This week we're going to be talking about LRH or Mr. Hubbard.
Yes.
What is it?
L.
Ron Hubbard, Scientologist and alien theorist, I suppose.
Yeah.
There's a lot to him. Yeah. We're going to be unpacking it all a bit later on. It's obviously got alien connections. But when we started going into it, looking into actually Scientology, because I mean I've seen it in media and they poke fun. But,
it's been quiet for a few years.
It went from being, I know there's an alien connection, but now it's turned into a missing persons case or several.
Yeah. It's true.
A lot to it, so we'll be getting into
other
it.
Criminal activities, possibly.
Obviously, we'll be getting into it all later on in the show.
We will.
But there you go. Also, like say Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is tiny little Tom Cruise. Why is it that Tom Cruise does all of his own stunts, do you reckon?
Oh, well, that's a question and a half, that.
I reckon it's just because death's the only way out of the Scientology.
Hey, that could be,
potentially.
Either that or he's kinky and he likes pain.
Probably. Well, all that's coming up in the show a little bit later on. Taylor, have you ever thought about joining a cult? And a cult, and which one out of the ones we mainly covered, which would be the most appealing to you? Bearing in mind they all end the same way.
You know what? Probably this one, because it's quite big.
What, Scientology?
Yeah, and I'd fuck around with their minds.
What, do you think that you'd just be like...
I think I'd be fucking around, fucking them about.
Have you ever seen the Peep Show episode where Jez and Superhands, they say exactly that? They go...
Yeah.
Let's go and freak out the freaks.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go and fuck their heads
Why
up.
Not? Yeah.
And they end up getting sucked in just like everyone else. Do you know what I mean?
That's where you're gonna have
these
to be
These guys are masters of
manipulation.
Not auditing.
Auditing. Well,
yeah,
that's the way they like to say it. Yeah.
Indeed.
Well, realistically, manipulation.
I'm gonna audit your week now. So you basically, you reckon you'd join Scientology and you wouldn't want to join Applewhite or even Jonestown or anything like that? No.
Nah, I don't fancy the Kool-Aid, to be honest.
Fair enough.
And the uniform.
Well, there you go.
Well, what about
I don't know where
what
that
about
was
Jonestown?
Jonestown? No, not at all. To be honest, no, I don't. I'd start my own cult.
You know what? Yeah, that'd be me. That
I'd have to start my own cult, if anything.
Yeah.
But like I say, audit of the week now. We audit your week. How's your week been, Mr. Taylor?
Yeah, it's been up and down, a bit busy, and
it's been a bit up and down
as well at periods. Yeah.
Oh, it sounds like a bus service.
Well,
train or weather.
Well, it's either
it sounds like you're giving me a weather
really?
report. It's like, it's been rainy with intermittent spells of sunshine.
Yeah, well, you got to have a bit of sunshine, haven't you? Especially this week in Britain, we've had a nice weekend.
I was just about to say that it's been a lovely week, hasn't it? Yeah, the weather's been absolutely amazing.
Sharpness of the cold on top, but it's been.
Well,
nice,
I don't think it's been that cold, but
nice little fires up in the hills.
It's been like the hottest days of the year, but yeah, that was amazing before because Taylor lives up in the hills.
Current crunchy country.
It was like watching a volcano up in the hills. It was just like those scenes that you were getting from Spain when the volcano went off.
If it's someone who's had a barbecue up there and gone, throw that, and not realised.
Seriously, because it was like the whole hillside was like ablaze, and it's
going to be like fucking California around here soon if it carries on.
It is
But we
crazy.
ain't got enough
I
trees,
took a
just
picture. I'll
grass.
post that on Instagram because it was like a little volcano. Looked like a little volcano.
It looked
up
nice
in the
though,
distance.
as well.
Yeah, it was glowing.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Yeah, it was quite cool.
We had a
But
little
I mean,
small
do you
one
think
last
that's down to the weather? Well, it is down to the weather in one sense that if people are going out enjoying the sunshine and they take the barbecues with them, then
That's it. You
I mean,
get
just
some-
if you're going to go out and do
Be
that sort of
smart.
thing, people be smart and obviously clean up after yourself and keep Britain tidy.
Yeah, because there are consequences for that action. Of the animals that were living in the area, insects that were living in the area, and pollution.
Yeah, not the fact that we live in built-up areas most of the time, and you just end up with setting an estate on fire.
Yeah, or two, or maybe
something.
three, or
Look
what happened in London.
The Great London Fire of London.
Yeah, and that was only a candle. You know what I mean? Look how far it can go.
So yeah, be careful, guys, what you're doing.
yeah.
But like you say, the weather has actually been amazing.
Yeah, it's been beautiful.
The last couple of weeks. Oh, the last week.
Yeah.
So much so that the ice cream man's been around.
Has he?
Yeah.
We haven't been round here.
Oh, mate. I love him. I love ice cream men who are because it's a dying trade. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they've got to take chances nowadays, they've got to kind of
fighting
find
each other.
new pitches. Well, that's what it
Yeah,
is.
that's it. The fight.
The amount of ice cream wars there actually are in real life. Yeah. With ice cream men encroaching on other ice cream men's patches.
Oh yeah, the amount of fights I've seen, like ice cream vans that have stopped and just gone, "What are you doing?"
Started getting out. Mr.
Yeah.
Whippy's having a bit of a flap with Mr. Soft Air.
Yeah, man, you could do an Aussie man fucking lineup.
I reckon you could if Aussie man you ever listening. There you go. I'd like to see that review video of ice cream men fighting.
Yeah.
What do you get from the ice cream man if you get an ice cream?
It's got to be a 99.
A 99?
Yeah, it's got to be a 99.
Explain to our American cousins what a 99 is.
It's a cornet with...
Or a cone.
Or a cone,
yeah. A cone, I suppose,
a cone. Loads of lushing of ice cream in there. Maybe two in the cone. Sometimes you get a double cone.
Yeah, you do get a double cone, yeah.
And then you get a nice bit of a flake.
So
a full flake
like a Cadbury's flake stuck in the top. Yeah, that's
and
nice.
And then drizzled with like a bit of raspberry juice and then hundreds of thousands. You can't forget.
So I'm a bit of a traditionalist when it comes to the ice cream. I like that Cornish sort of cream ice cream rather than Mr. Whippy. I mean, I see people enjoying the Mr. Whippy, but I'm not a big fan of it myself.
Well, ice cream's made with oil now as well.
Well, this is made of powdery stuff, isn't it, that they put in the machine? And I mean, it's like I don't want to shatter people's things, you know what I mean? But
exactly.
it does seem a bit more kind of like mass-produced, easy, it's a mix that they put in a machine and it's cost-effective, of course. But it's something about it.
You can't beat
original ice cream.
You got to have the proper original if you can.
I love a good ice. What's your favourite ice cream?
Mint chopped chip.
Oh yeah, I like it. I do like a Cornetto and a Magnum.
Mint, and I'm dribbling.
Dribble it.
Chocolate, if it's in chocolate,
Well, it's nice because, like, obviously the clocks are going forward. In fact, they've just gone forward. So we've lost an hour there. Yeah, we just literally lost an hour. So now it's like
see how dedicated we are to you.
Even now it's stupid. Even more stupid o'clock in the morning.
It is. So I'm not going to get into about
but
6.
That's funny though because I mean it's considered British summertime now.
Yeah.
I mean it's like we've not even got through spring.
No.
But
no, that's true.
There you go. Other than that, this week just been working and doing me bits. But we've got we're on Red Wall Radio.
We are indeed, yes.
Thursday, every week from 8 o'clock on Red Wall Radio. Which is a great little radio station to be honest. It's like if you like varied playlists.
Yeah, you can listen to us and listen to other ones at the same time.
Exactly. At the same time.
Well, I don't know.
One in each year. Are you like fucking I know they say men can't multitask, but you're claiming like to be
I could do it.
Winning.
Why can't anyone else?
Try it. Taylor can do it.
There's
I'm
a challenge
sure
for you.
Most people go.
Try and listen to two podcasts at the same time with one in one ear and one in the other.
Which one do you find most interesting?
Yeah.
That's
and
just
how much information
ridiculous.
you can get out of one or the other.
Well.
Or actually see how it would mix and match. You know, like when in the old days where you used to have only 4 channels, you used to go,
it's like,
right, press that channel and see what the words come next.
Trying to say, like, if you sync up 2 podcasts, it's like listening to, I don't know, fucking Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band to Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, something
or
may
something
come out
Dark
of it.
Side of the Moon with Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
And it's like, it syncs up.
Yeah, it's like reversing the old record players.
It's crazy. It's like being on a massive acid trip.
Yeah, you know.
Well,
Well, if you're on an acid trip, I wouldn't suggest it.
If you're on an acid trip, we'd like to hear from you.
Yeah, that'll fuck your mind up like something chronic, I would imagine.
I want to know as well, I want to ask the listeners something.
Listen up, listeners.
And I'd like your response on this. If you would, because I see this a lot about weather balloons, people sending stuff up into space. Yeah. And for various reasons, Well, I'm wondering what people would like to see sent into space.
My underwear.
And bearing in mind, the logistics of a weather balloon, so no stupid answers, but something legit, that would be able to be carried off.
Pizza.
What would you like to see go into space? Taylor's saying pizza, but I think that's a bit...
Well, you could shove that on there, it'll go up, and then by the time it gets down, it's been nice and cool.
I've seen people do fast food, though, do you know what I mean? It's like, is that a bit done?
Well,
I want to hear what the listeners would like to have sent into space, if they could have something sent into space.
You know what? You know what? Probably a couple...
You're taking away a lovely experience from one of our listeners here.
To see if it boil at a certain height.
Okay.
Because if it was in space, it would boil.
So science is there, like, do you want to do an experiment? And I just want to see something cool in space. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or maybe if we can try and land something in the Tesla that's floating around out there.
Oh yeah.
Could we slap a bumper sticker on it?
Could we get a picture of the Dark Knight up
maybe.
there? Hey,
who
Dark Knight.
Who knows what we'd see?
Yeah.
But let us know what you'd like to see sent into space, and maybe we could try and make that happen at some point.
See what ideas you come up with. If it's plausible, we could probably try it.
We'll have a new what's it next week, by the way, a new sponsor.
We will.
Sponsor. That's that.
Yeah,
I suppose. But this week is brought to you by Audible.
It is indeed.
Audible trial offer is a great way for new customers to try Audible books and make the most of every moment. Making the most of every moment is what it's about.
Yeah.
And with this trial, you get one free audio book of your choice. Get to keep it.
Yeah.
Even if you cancel your Prime membership, or even if you cancel your Audible membership. Prime customers receive 2 audiobooks in the trial.
Beautiful.
And you get the ability to choose from the world's largest selection of audiobooks, including bestsellers, new releases, sci-fi, romance, mysteries, classics, and more.
It makes you slap your mother.
Holy shit. Don't, because it's Mother's Day tomorrow.
It is actually, yes.
Yeah. Yes. Maybe you could sign your mum up to an audio book trial.
That's it. Get her a book that she hasn't,
like,
she wants to read
Barbara Cartland or something,
Barbara
or Jackie Collins novel,
Jackie Collins
something
used to
like
be a
that.
big one, didn't she?
I don't know.
I don't know if the ladies go
in.
You
could get her the Dianetics, history of Dianet, the Dianetics book for Elon,
or even
Ron Hubbard. I keep saying Elon Musk. For some reason.
Anyway, 50 Shades of Grey.
50 Shades of Grey. For your mother on Mother's Day. You get the ability to choose from the world's largest selection. So, those could be in there for all I know.
And a lot
after 30 days, you will receive another book.
Beautiful.
Of your choice, which costs $7.99 per month. And you can cancel any time. So it's well worth a look and a dabble.
It's worth having at least
and you get to keep the book even if you choose that you don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So, there you go. We will have a link in the description. Make sure you click it. Join up for a free trial.
Yes, or go to our website and it will be on there with many other things.
It will, indeed. We want to be talking about...
the Hubbard in the cupboard?
The Hubbard in the cupboard. Ron Hubbard, or LRH,
as
he's known. It's such an interesting topic, I've got to admit, right? Because it's one of them where it was like I don't really want to do Scientology. I mean, it's like, and from what I knew about it, it was basically just a religious cult, and
legal.
It was when you start looking into it and you find out, what they're actually teaching these people and what the courses lead to, because it's like in these cults, often what they do is they give you part of the information, and to learn the next bit, you've got to invest so much more, or you've got to go into the next sort of level, if you like.
Yeah, or get your checkbook and pen out.
Well, yeah, exactly, and be like a but most of these cults operate in that sort of fashion, where they'd, indoctrinate people in so much that they lived on the compound. They give a part of the wage, if not all of the wages,
to the
cause. They work with them.
It's sort of like a mini government.
Of course it is. It's like with Jonestown and Applewhite. Yeah. They both had compounds or like places that they were trying to create as like their holy land or wherever. Scientology is no different. Although that they just sprung up on high streets in old shops, and it'd be like Church of Scientology. I remember being approached by someone in the street asking me to do a personality test in the 90s. Me and my friend did it. It was one of those things where it was like you're walking through town and you go, do you want a free personality test? And you're like a teenager, you go, yeah, all right then. Let's give what you're doing. Tell me what you see a machine. Yeah. And you're like intrigued by the machine.
What did they offer you in the machine to have a look?
Oh yeah, a little go just before. It wasn't like the full package, which we'll get into in a minute. Yeah. But like obviously, if you don't know about Scientology, it is basically a new religion, an American religion.
Yeah.
It was created by science fiction writer Ron Hubbard.
Yeah. He was a world record breaker.
He was actually, wasn't he? I mean, in terms of like putting out articles and writing,
over 600.
But this was basically why this happened was because he was writing in a lot of different pen names. So at one point, he was putting out a lot of articles for, say, the same magazine under different pen names. So say like 80% of the articles in the magazine would be his work.
Yeah. Totally.
He was a bit of an adventurer. Apparently, he was one of the youngest kids in America to, get all of his badges in the Scouts. Ooh. And he became one of the youngest Eagle Scouts to ever, in history, to be, like, accepted into the Eagle Scouts.
There's another record breaker.
He was basically one of these guys who was, like, wanted to go out and adventure. Yeah,
because he was in the Navy for a long while.
He was in the services, but he also used that time to, visit tribes and speak to people and get a kind of an understanding of the world.
That's true, right? But also he had a few injuries where he was in the military, as he says, but for countability of stuff that he did in further in future, he always went back to he had an injury in the military somewhere. But if you actually go back and have a look at his military records, most of the injuries that he claimed he had, he didn't actually have, or supposedly he probably didn't report it.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, he was in. But I mean, what I'm saying is, like, on the Scientology website, they basically say that he walked millions of miles. Honestly, they put it in this way that he travelled all over the globe. He must have gone millions of miles to meet all these people, to be...
That's like from here to the other side of the sun.
They go a bit extreme with the measurements and the calculations, because obviously... Later on, obviously, we'll get into another one of these, because they do go pretty far out with the evaluations, if you like.
I was trying to work out. I don't know if I'm right, but I think it's something like 44,000 miles wide or something like that. There is no possible way I could see that he could walk. I don't even think we could do it in our lifetime. Walk a million miles.
Well, however many miles he walked.
Mind you, how old was he? Was he like
after all this kind of like exploring and research and kind of speaking
smoking the old wacky
probably smoking something. He kind of was really interested in how the mind worked and how mental health.
Yeah.
And because he felt like he was privy to a lot of information that was not Western, potentially lost knowledge. How to cure the body without medicine, which these tribes often, use and kind of promote. So I think he felt like he was kind of like in a position where he knew a bit more about it. But he was kind of getting like to the point where he wanted to kind of, look at that as a field. So I think when he went to university back in America, he wanted to do psychology, and try and understand the human mind and how that worked. But obviously, he's picked up a lot of other stuff on the way.
On how to manipulate.
Well, not even that, but I mean, like, if he believes what he's kind of pushing, or if he believes what he's selling, going down the line, he's rather claiming to pick this sort of story up, this information up from, like, wise men, or he's made it up and it's total bollocks, which, personally, that's my vote, But
with you just saying that, then I just had a thought in my head of how we discuss about ancient artifacts and stuff around the world, and like
totally.
tribe.
And I mean, you can't really say it's not true because it's a theory.
Partly it may be true, and partly he's invented a lot on it.
Well, we'll move on to that shortly. But I mean, during World War II. He was in the Navy, and he was briefly the commander of 2 ships, but was removed from command both times. And then he spent a bit of time in hospital, like you were saying.
Because of his leadership, apparently.
And then he basically began writing. So he was known for writing science fiction novels, but he had a very wide range. So he would write westerns and romances and all sorts of stuff. And like I say, often in other pen names. So
well, it's a good part for psychology on that as well, because you're getting in all kinds of different areas and not into a spectrum area of one. You're getting into like several different areas, so you can actually, in your own way, you manipulate what you're reading.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Well, like it was getting obviously quite pretty popular anyway. The idea of psychology, and when it came to the 1960s, Scientology was like basically a thing. He wrote a book called Dianetics.
1950.
Dianetics, though, I mean, it comes up, quite a lot. It was on the bestseller list for so long.
Should call it diarrhea.
L. Ron Hubbard discovered the single source of nightmares and irrational fears and upsets. And he put it all in a book, Dianetics, The Modern Science of Mental Health. He describes that there's a bit of a connection between the body and the soul, if you like, and how we're all kind of how to get away, how to get negative. That. No, there is no dispute there. But what I'm saying is, he reckons he knows how to control it and be able to clean your soul of negative vibes. Or how did he put them? What was it he called them? So what are they called?
Thetans.
Yeah. So these negative thetans, right, are what's clogging up your body or whatever. And,
because what he used to make up names, but he also used to use names that were medically used, but put them in a different interpretation.
Yeah, but it wasn't like it was they were medical terms. He basically just used, like you say, they were medical terms that didn't even relate to the things he was really talking about. He just thought they sounded cool.
Yeah, they sounded like they were the right word for the right.
His sci-fi writer mind coming into play. So,
manipulation as
the guy seemed to be quite clever, a bit of an adventurer, and somebody who felt like he could understand the human psyche and the human mind. All perfect sort of tools for somebody who wants to manipulate people into one, giving you all your money.
Yeah. Governments do it all the time.
Yeah, and basically being able to sell what he's selling as a religion. So he's quite interesting.
Right.
So obviously, the Dianetics book, like I said, spent a lot of time in the top bestsellers. The word Dianetics is derived from the Greek di, meaning thought, and nous, which means, nous, which means mind or soul. Dianetics is further defined is what is the soul doing in relation to the body.
Yeah.
Holy schmoly.
We ask that question quite a bit.
I do.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
where is my mind? Where is my mind in the...
Where is your body?
It's over there. You know, when you do start joining, so like I say, when I had my personality test back in the day, in the 90s, so they wanted me to use this e-meter.
Right.
So looking at the e-meter, it's like, it does look like a bit of technical kit that you think, wow, what is this? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They want you to hold these copper fucking handles, and then they ask you a load of mad questions potentially, or like, you know.
Yeah, there's no right or wrong answer either.
Well, this is it, because they're testing your thetan level at this point. They're doing an audit on you of some description, and what all they do is, it's just a way of them basically making you feel such a way where they're like, oh, you're not a happy person, are you? You know, like, you've obviously got negative thetans. We can purge them for you, and we can get rid of those, so you can become a happier person. You're obviously really depressed, and by the end of it, you're like, well, how can you help? Do you know, like, and you know, if they can say that they can get rid of it, then what it is, you know, if you're a depressed person and you feel like you are unhappy,
and it could be medical,
and it could help, then I mean, why do people do like new
diets and new objects?
Yeah, exactly. Like, they try these things because, and if it works for them, it works for them. And I think, like, we'll get into a couple of celebrities who maybe decided they wanted to join, but then went, actually, that's not for me. But there's a lot of people who joined and fucking obviously really loved what they were selling. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, apparently a lot of businessmen, CEOs, are actually a part of him, but they just don't let it out.
Really?
Apparently,
well,
yeah. So,
e-meters obviously are used in Scientology and Dianetics. Scientologists measure what's basically like electromagnetic fields or electric fields in the body.
Yeah, and working out your control of it.
Yeah, the people who run these little tests are known as auditors. Scientologists, obviously, they use this little machine, which is basically it's just basically like a needle. So on a scale, and it, like I say, if your heart rate goes up or you start thinking about stuff that creates electrical signals within your body, this thing picks up on it. Really, it does fuck all. It doesn't do really much of anything. The only time it was actually derived into anything useful, this piece of apparatus, was when it was turned into, it was basically made into the lie detector polygraph machine, right, by Leonard Keeler, and he basically took that sort of idea of like using electrical signals and heart rates and stuff like that, and that sort of graph,
because you know it could move. It was moving in certain, if you
exactly, so it's like if your heart raises, then that creates a different signal, which obviously is an indication on the graph.
It's something like 86% proof or something. But
obviously the e-meter originally named the electroscopic electroscopometer.
I thought you were going to say scrotum for some reason.
I know, I almost did. It's an electrical device that displays electrical activity, or EDA, which is emitted from human beings.
Yeah, or if you use it now, it'll probably be emitted by your fucking phone.
You're not wrong, actually. Do you know what? I remember it with my phone doing that a lot, where it would beep, 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 and you'd make, make a racket on the stereo in your speakers or whatever. But, so, I mean, the measures to get in straight away, they're all like, I think that those types of
getting
tests
in is the easy part.
Like you say, it's getting in's an easy part. And once you get in, you're kind of in like the first ranks. Aren't you, I suppose? What are they called? There's actually like names for them, isn't there?
Sea Org.
Yeah, the Sea. So the Sea Org is the first sort of stage.
To get into
where you get audited. They'll try and clear you, which is another term they use, which is trying to clear these negative thetans
but
out of your body.
Most importantly, you pay them.
Oh, you got to pay them?
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
Lowest pay was, what's it, $2,000?
About $2,500 or
highest to get in there was 100,000.
So obviously you pay
Celebrities.
them, and then you get to try and be happy, right? And
Yeah,
then
all right.
if you're not happy, right, because you
Yeah.
just paid out all this money, I'd be happy.
Yeah, exactly.
I tell you that much. I want to be Tom Cruise happy.
But you get stuff like sitting one-to-one
Manically happy.
with someone and discussing basically your deep, dark secrets and
Well, this
stuff
is it,
like
yeah,
that.
and they
taped.
notarize it all. Yeah,
Yeah,
these like
is-
minutes from the meeting definitely taken in these situations.
So if you leave, you're fucked because they will use everything.
Well,
they
we will
have
get
on you.
into what happens when you
Yes.
try and leave the Church Scientology a little bit later on, because there are some
dodgy fucking
mega stories coming out about this organisation. I mean,
cult.
looking into people who actually are members.
Yeah.
I mean, Kirstie Alley from Cheers.
Yeah.
She's a known member. Kirstie Alley said she's not a fake Scientologist in one interview, like
a lot of others.
like some others. But basically, she went on Howard Stern on the radio, and talked about her Scientology, saying that she was obviously a Scientologist.
Yeah.
She was an OT7 level.
Oh,
That's quite high up. Then I take it.
It's
Isn't
about
it?
halfway, I think.
It's about halfway.
Yeah, because the woman I have, who as the president of the international part of the organisation, she basically is a level 12, which apparently a level 12 CS, which is the highest you can get. Basically,
The thing about this though is, like, once you get into a level, right? Even if you don't, well, you might learn a little bit more, but was it worth it? What you've just learned, is it valuable information, or is it something that you feel a bit ripped off by, or you paid all this money and then somebody goes and tells you something quite far out? Are you going to be like, wait a minute, I feel a bit cheated? But then you have then got to kind of like push that to the people below you in the lower tier, because they want you, the church wants you to try and push that on the next one. So it's like, wait until you get to the next level, or mate, that's when you start really learning stuff, which means they work harder, pay more money quicker, because they want to get to that next level. And it's just it's a pyramid scheme, basically. The only person getting rich from it is the guy at the top.
Well, it sounds like when you do the first set of courses, I mean, they're like 20 odd quid and stuff like this, but it all adds up. Now, when you do these first courses, a lot of people,
Scientology courses, £6 for a pound.
Actually, it worked for him. It actually worked for him. And the thing is though, when you get higher and higher up the stage, you're learning, but you're also being more of in other words, a slave. Basically, you're
basically being kind of brainwashed.
Yeah, there's actually
indoctrinated into a cult. That's basically what you do. I mean,
once a certain name
they put you to work, these like higher ups, these middle management, and then these just cult people who've just joined, and when you do join these cults, you give up your life. They basically encourage you not to go and you visit friends and family.
That's right.
Because if you do, it's all about trying to indoctrinate them into the church as well. I mean, we were looking into it earlier about like families who were getting involved with these cults or even Scientology, and they were told, right, well, these certain people we don't want you communicating with anymore because they're known non-believers, or they just don't, they do drugs, or they're not our type of people.
No one who's in it can connect with anyone who's outside it, basically.
And if you leave and you've got family, friends, or loved ones who are still within the church or within the cult, then they're forced to give you up because you're no longer in the family. Yeah. So, it's a bit of a kind of a harsh... That is not, in my book, a religious way of behaving. If you're claiming to be a church, then how can you then turn around and say our practices are pretty medieval and we don't allow you to interact with people who aren't a part of the church, but we're very religious and we believe in, like, you know, religious beliefs and kind of goodwill and
it all looks nice and good on the outside.
It all looks great on the packaging, but once you actually get inside the cult or inside the churches,
I mean, the pay is like 40p an hour or something like that.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Really, there's actually, they've got a part in America. They've got like a little town kind of centre, and there's a public road that actually goes through there. And they tried to get that removed. They didn't want a public road through there, and because they've been told
it's their
several
compound, isn't it? It's not like
they've camered it up like fuck.
It's basically like Jonestown.
Well, yeah, you sort of like but more on the technical, because they've got a place called Gold Base, I believe, and what inside it's got
Gold Base,
loads of technology and like all kinds of like stuff how to like fuck with your mind realistically, with like TV, radio and shit like that.
Well, so basically brainwashing you.
Basically.
So like if they send you to Gold Base, then you're getting a re-education. It's like a re-education centre. In a lot of ways. You know, the what's it? There's another sort of kind of place they send you, the Hole. If you misbehave or you don't kind of do what they tell you, or if you're not kind of...
That's top level there, where... Because I had a look into this, and it basically... you go in there, you abuse each other, you're working... Lovely. They're like offices, but you work with each other, but you also do stuff like on your knees.
You're just trying to break each other.
But you get more of the information of I suppose what they reckon been going on for like millennia. You know what I mean? It's like it's a terrible place, but it's a hard place to get out of. But it's the top ranking place.
Well, this is it. If you do manage to get out of it, it's pretty amazing. Lucky. The thing is, though, you know, one of the programs they do run. Within Scientology is the celebrity program, right? So the celebrity program, how that operates is they basically see celebrities as, you know, better endorsement. Yeah, exactly. So if they get a celebrity endorsement, then that's a win for them. They can get, you know, Tom Cruise to come and be their spokesman. Then that's kind of
you got
putting it in the spotlight, isn't it? And people kind of pay attention a little bit more, right? The thing with that, though, is they use that as a, you know, they have an idea of celebrity and they think it's any influencer, anybody who can kind of spread their message. So political leaders, anybody in the music industry, anyone in the, you know, like internet influencing, film. So this is why they get, like, you know, they push for people like Tom Cruise and your John Travolta's, and even Brad Pitt was going to join and did a few courses because I think he was seeing an actress who was a Scientologist at the time, or is still, and he ended up kind of going for a bit and then decided it wasn't for him. But I think with the celebrities, they make it a bit easier for you to walk away. Like, I think I saw that that actress from King of Queens saying that, you know, if you're a famous person or you're a celebrity, you can walk away. If you're a comedian, you can still kind of make jokes about it. Yeah. But if you take it too far, then you get put on a list where they will use everything, every means they've got at their disposal.
They've got pickup
to try
teams
and
and
ruin
stuff like
your
that.
life. Yeah, and based on, like you were saying earlier, when you're going through your audits and you're getting all this stuff off your chest and they're trying to work out where all your anxieties are coming from and all the rest of it, they've got all this information.
They'll be putting that out in the media and everything.
Yeah, so it is a bit kind of mad, but like,
it's a sneaky
there's a big list. There is a big list of celebrities who are notable Scientologists, obviously, like I say, just to mention Tom Cruise and John Travolta. Well, Jason Lee or My Name Is Earl was a Scientologist for a time.
That's true. Tom Cruise has been in it for 39 years, but John Travolta's been in it for 46.
46 years?
Yeah, and
Sandy.
he's but now people from 2016, the Academy Awards stopped anyone presenting or winning an award if you were if you were involved. Yeah, apparently that anyone who's involved, or especially now, anyone who's involved with them, don't even bother going to Hollywood because they don't want to see you, and that's why you don't get as many top celebrities now who are a part of them.
Well, Juliette Lewis, it was who was involved.
That's right.
Yeah. Obviously, it's quite a lot of different types of people, but ranging from musicians to film stars
to businessmen.
All types. But I mean, the thing is, obviously, L. Ron Hubbard was in charge, and he had a vision. But he was a sci-fi writer, so. I mean, we're going to get into the alien stuff. Don't you worry.
But do you know what they were named?
Because obviously Scientology, they've got beliefs, yeah?
Yeah.
And we will get into those beliefs, Because once you get to a certain level, you get told the secrets.
Yeah.
Don't tell anyone.
And if
don't tell anyone the secrets.
When
these aliens.
Not at a certain level, you're named degraded beam. That's what you are known
You're
as.
a degraded beam.
Bean.
A bean?
Yeah. As in a...
Like a baked bean?
Yeah. Or us.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's... which is degrading.
So, you were talking about, like, one of the international directors.
Max.
And, Max. And basically, he's got an interesting story because, I mean, like, in terms of how this organisation looks on the surface to what goes on in the background, I mean, like, I didn't even expect all of this when I started to research it, and like I say, I thought great topic
behind it as well.
There's a religion that sprung up, we can poke fun at the alien stuff, it'd be really quite an interesting episode. But then when you start doing the research and it starts becoming darker and darker, it's almost like, do you know, the guy who runs it now, David Miscavige, he almost reminds me of Sorrento from the Ready Player One film, where he's just this sleazy businessman who's like, he's got no morals, no ethics, no sort of...
apparently he's a sadist. Apparently he loves seeing
beating
people
up, and like I mean, in terms of that documentary about the Clear, or it's called The Clear.
Do you know what it reminds?
I'd recommend it if you've not seen it, because obviously a lot of the King of Queens actress, I forget her name. Is it Janet Ravi or something like that?
Something like that.
She ends up coming out, and she won an Emmy for this documentary.
Yeah, she's one of the top stars who've come out about it. Isn't
she
really?
Escaped it. She was indoctrinated from a 9-year-old into the Scientology.
Well, did you see what in her younger
for her
interviews?
To get out of that, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
But I mean, she'd been through it all.
Yeah, because in her younger videos, if you have a look at her interviews when she was younger, she was quite uptight and quite aggressive quite a lot of the time.
Right, okay.
Because when she come back, when she left there, she's totally changed. She's totally changed woman. She's more calm. She's more, collective. She knows what she wants and she goes out and gets it. But I'm
a strong, independent woman. Yeah. She's like Beyonce, so she's like, the rocks
she's
that
just
I got.
She's a lot better for it that she's not with him still, because she was very, very uptight and very, I'm angry at this, I'm angry at that, but like, not like saying anything. But you can see it on her face that she was. She was holding
always, something in, like, totally.
Had something there.
I mean, so there was a lot of kind of things going on in the background. I mean, what was happening with Max? I mean, Max was an interesting one, because he was actually their PR guy, wasn't he? For a long time. So during the 70s, he became public relations director.
Yeah, that's
is this
right.
Jenzish?
Yeah, this is his name isn't Max. It was.
He's not called Max.
Yeah, no, I thought you was on about the
Herber.
guy. Herber, that's it. I thought you was on about the Russian guy who run org in Russia, and what they basically try to do, he put 100,000 promotion out there to try and get Scientology out there.
Oh, right.
And he got nothing back. So he found out basically when people have heard Scientology, gone on the internet and gone, right, well, this is what you're saying. Now, what about the people who have been in there and come out and say?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So it actually destroyed them in Europe. So they can't. You won't see them in Europe.
Well, like I say, I seen them in Manchester. A few years ago. I mean, they still do have.
Now, though?
There is still a Church of Scientology shop on Deansgate, and it just looks like a shop, glass-fronted store with a guy with a desk. He's probably chatting the business and all the rest of it, but they're not on the street trying to draw people in anymore, because I think they've kind of been a bit more reserved. In fact,
have to be, don't
in terms of PR, this guy who Herber, he was the PR guy.
That's right. Yeah.
He was very public about a lot of Scientology business.
Front man, wasn't he?
He was the front man. He was basically the spokesman for the chief of press for Scientology. So even so much as so that when L. Ron Hubbard died in 1986, he was the one who told the world, basically.
That's right. Yeah.
And
then he ended up getting the prime minister of the international group of it. And then
he was the president of the international Church of Scientology.
Yeah. And I've actually got a story on his wife. There's an interview on the internet called "Scientology Darkest Secrets Revealed" by the wife of of his wife, basically.
She didn't. So go on. So tell us the story then, because the way you painted it was that she disappeared.
No, that this one is she left basically when it inside at one term, everyone got brought to their massive building, and they got told that no one can get pregnant now.
So they've all been commanded to go back to their base or their their main headquarters. Yeah. And who's then put this decree? Who said that no Scientology ladies are allowed to be pregnant?
That the president of the actual whole lot, David.
Right. So David's put this out, right? Yeah. Because I've seen contracts that have been written up by the Church of Scientology.
That's
basically, right. If I was married to another member. Yeah, and we were expecting a baby, then that baby we have to sign it over to the church. And I've seen this happen a few times within the research where they signed a contract for a billion-year contract for their kid.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and more contracts like every day.
Signing away your child for your church is a bit extreme, don't you think?
Yeah, true, but that was before they didn't want any pregnancies. That's how.
Well, didn't you think
run.
That's how you grow a religion, though? Yeah. Because you basically go, oh, Christianity, we've got all these guys, yeah. Oh, they're having kids now, so that means more congregation and the next generation of believers, I suppose.
They had issues beforehand, because in 2008...
It's like, we don't want any of these, in the church babies. We want... Because they were bringing in babies.
Yeah, but in 2008...
You could have a baby and make it Scientologist, but you can't have a baby and...
Yeah, but you got a chance that baby's going to go, no, fuck that, I'm going.
Well, basically,
so now
I believe that you should be letting your child make their decisions for themselves
at the age of 16.
At the age of 16 or older, But
their biggest bombshell was basically in 2008. Anonymous come out, and there was loads of protests about, and that's when you heard a lot about it. It was because they actually attacked them, and it got them scared.
Also, Tiny Tom Cruise.
Yes, he got him scared. He got him quite a few interviews, actually.
Well, yeah, of course it did. I mean, Tom Cruise. I mean, we played the song at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
If anyone was wondering what that was, by the way, that is
It's
Scientology music.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been plenty of bands. Even John Travolta sang on one in a band with Frank Stallone, of all people, Sylvester Stallone's brother.
Yeah.
Who did appear in the Rocky movies? If you know them guys, them hobos next to the bin.
Yeah.
Bring it back.
They were the Seahawks, weren't they?
Bring it back.
That was the band in
I think so. Yeah. I think that's the first level of Scientology as well, isn't it?
But
interesting.
They've had a lot of issues because the IRS was trying to get money out of them since the 60s because back pay because they put themselves as a church and they wasn't legally put as a church. So what had happened was when they took Scientology to court, they brought thousands of lawsuits against the IRS to stop it and to name it as a church. Well,
as a public relations guy, I bet that was a minefield in itself.
Oh, yeah.
So Herber, he's having to deal with all this.
Yeah.
I mean, so how did his wife get out?
Well, after the IRS fought this for 25 years until 1993, and then in 1993 the IRS actually gave him the 501c3 clearance to be a church, basically. So when that happened, they started to bring loads of children in and have them sign contracts, which it can't be legal because they can't be legally. They're not an adult. Yeah, exactly. Under these billion thingy laws. And got them cleaning toilets, got them like they were kind of learning but being abusive. They're not allowed to learn. They're not allowed to go to school, anything like that. There was loads of weird stuff, and the actually ex-wife, she had a 8-year-old boy there because she had enough of it, and she was at the top table, and she said, "I've had enough of this now."
See, now if she was at the top table, there's a term that they use in Scientology called SP, which means a suppressive person. Yeah. So this is often referred. It's a term that it's often used, just be abbreviated to SP.
Yeah.
And it's a term used in Scientology to describe an antisocial personality or an antisocial person who's, according to Scientologist founder L. Ron Hubbard, make up about 2.5% of the population.
That's a big.
It's quite a chunk of antisocial people or suppressive people. But if you're a suppressive person to Scientology, which we probably are, then you're kind of hit listed. Yeah.
Oh,
so
definitely.
mainly if you leave Scientology. Yeah, like I said earlier, if you're a comedian and you've been a celebrity comedian, and you're on the celebrity program, then you could probably leave and not have many repercussions. You can make jokes about it, but you're not going to get too much problems. But
because
if you're just a regular person or just even like a slight celebrity, then you could be fucked, basically. Do you know what I mean? And it depends how outspoken you are about the practices that are going on behind these closed doors.
Yeah, well, I was seeing how women who were getting pregnant and refused to abort the child, getting chucked out. Basically, they got notice the day after. Right, well, you're out. They kick you out, and then all the stuff you've been talking to them about, all the blackmail stuff, they put all that out. Plus, you get a massive bill for actually, for all the work that they've done for you and all that palaver.
Well, that's how these cults work as well, because, obviously you pay your stipend for being a part of the church.
Yeah,
and basically it's, they end up giving away most of the life savings a lot of the time, and then they end up, if they do want to leave the church, they go walking away with nothing.
Absolutely.
The Jonestown, even the, the Applewhite stuff, it was exactly the same. I mean, in terms of it's almost like a commune at first. And when you look at these cults, they go in with a nice idea. It's a nice idea that they want a commune with, like, everyone helping each other. But there's always a charismatic leader who's really kind of, like, pushes it too far and gets a bit of an ego. And,
well, that David...
whether they kind of, like, what the end game is for them. I mean, I'm thinking David's, position, it's money. Yeah, well, he's not bothered about killing everyone off and taking them to the new planet or anything.
I don't know. It's addictive kind of thing as well, because he, in the 80s, he actually, because the president's ex-wife actually spoke a word, she was sentenced to 6 months in a encampment where she couldn't leave. No, it wasn't the hole.
Was it not the hole? Because this is it, you see. They've got a couple. You brought up the hole earlier, and the hole is one of them, but they've basically got a prison, gulag-style prison.
That's right, the encampment.
They'll send people. There's been reports of people, or like you even said before, like high-up members of the Scientology Church who've been sent there for up to 2 years to do manual labour, to think about what they've done.
He told his bodyguard, the guard, make her hands bleed, basically. But the thing was, she had an 8-year-old son, Alexander, and when she decided to leave, when he turned 8, he joined the Sea Org. He wasn't allowed to see her. She'd only seen him 11 times in 15 years, and he died in 2012. Now, his dad, who was still in the organisation, he managed to actually go and see him it was sort of like a prison. So he managed to actually go in and see him and give him a number to ring. Now, when he left, it was the last time he seen him, and apparently he tried ringing the number to contact him, and the line was dead. And they decided to try and bring the police in and have the coroner to, check over the body and see all this and that. I tried having a look, but I didn't find what he actually died of, what causes, and I didn't even find what she was fighting for, if the causes were right or not. You know what I mean?
Well, there's been plenty of people who've spoken out about being abused in terms of, like you say, David is
a bit of a sicko.
Is a bit of a kind of a character in the sense that he thrives off that type of behavior.
That's right.
That lady from King of Queens, she's very outspoken about it, about David McCavin's practices and how they operate in the sense of punishments and sanctions on the church, on the congregation. When they misbehave, and like when you're sending them to a prison camp or to do manual labour, or you're trying to brainwash them, because essentially what they're trying to do within the teachings is try to say you're clear, you're getting rid of all these negative emotions, but they're not. They're just distracting them, in a way that they're pushing it to one side. They're trying to say that all kind of mental health stems from one thing, and if you can clear that one thing up, then your thetan levels will be more positively charged, and you'll be a better, happier person. But generally speaking, mental health is a bit more complicated than that. It's
we've had a lot of problems with it.
Even LRH, he took on a lot of the principles of Freud and a lot of philosophers, and embrace those teachings. Whereas like how it is now, it seems to be more cultish than churchish, know, and like David McCavin, he's like the leader of the Church of Scientology, and according to the organisation, he's the captain of the Sea Orgs as well. So he's the official title is chairman of the board. So he's fancy pants Mr. Big Dog, right, in Scientology world. Now, when he was basically L. Ron Hubbard's right-hand man for a while,
that's right, yeah.
And then when he died, being the kind of most senior members, it was him and his
bastard.
wife who ended up taking command of the whole religion. So basically, all the bank accounts, everything is them. And this is what I get about like being a bit of a Sorrento character. This sort of like, you know, he's not even worked for it. It's like he's taken somebody else's
It sounds like he's
vision,
manipulating.
and then, well, maybe.
Hubbard.
I mean, how do you
Like
know
Hubbard
that there
was
wasn't
manipulating
something
everyone
there?
else.
I mean, obviously, he knows
He must know how he's doing
was
it.
operating
Yeah,
it.
so he's worked a few things around, got in the position next to him, second in command.
It's almost
and then
like
when he fucks off,
some sort of like.
It's like a president fucking. It's a president.
Well, I'd say it was more like a bit of a Roman Empire sort of situation where, you know, if you can get close enough to the emperor, you can snuff
dag
him out and become the new emperor.
True, or
Egypt.
Egypt.
And he seems to have done it, I mean, in a lot of ways. But, I mean, having that much power, right? And obviously he's getting in a lot of money. And if it is this pyramid scheme, he's at the top. Yeah.
What he does with that
so
money.
what's the money going on? Why is that money being used?
I'll tell you what, the amount of technology and the amount of buildings and like, you know, the working team and that, you know what I mean? It's like it's like a government and military like kind of operation, but under like slavery, but not under the name.
Yeah, basically. I mean, well, this is it though. People are joining in, you know, with their own free will.
Yeah.
I mean, some people find it works for them.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that everybody who's ever joined this Church of Scientology is having a bad time with it. Because
especially at the
some
beginning.
people, it might be like, I like having this level of like, you know, non-responsibility where my decisions are made for me and I just
join the army. Fucking join the army.
Join the army.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you know, these you know, some people might see it as a really good organization, and I'm sure they do. I'm sure, I don't know, they might do some good. But
that good will be to cover up the bad.
Well,
come on, with all the information of the people that have come out of there.
He ended up taking command after L. Ron Hubbard died in 1986. He didn't take command until a year later in 1987.
Well, how did Hubbard die? Was it sneaky or was it right?
I don't know, how he died.
I don't think there's been an autopsy talked about.
Oh, well, that's a conspiracy in itself, isn't it?
Yeah,
Would you feel, well, I'm starting to think that Miscavige bumped him off.
Yeah,
to take the keys to the kingdom.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean? He wouldn't go past him, would he? You'd always look at the second man for the top man's job.
Yeah, sneaky,
you know what I mean?
sneaker.
Yeah, that's why you should never be the top man and be the second one.
I mean, obviously, like, there's been a lot of kind of tales from the Sea Orgs and, like, you know, the church itself about David's practices. But it was when his wife suddenly disappeared. This was kind of an interesting one because nobody really seemed to be bothered about it. It was all kind of like very hush hush.
Why not? She's like the first lady.
It was only when she was only really discovered to be missing. When
the actress from Thingy of Queens.
She they went to they went to a funeral, didn't they? Or it was a funeral.
Yeah.
And she wasn't there. Yeah. So people will started asking questions like, where's your wife?
Yeah, she should have been there.
She should have been there. It's a big
part of the rules.
Part of the rules. It's part of like, it was a big event. I think it might have even been his funeral, L. Ron Hubbard's funeral.
Oh, that's fucking...
So where did this woman disappear to?
Yeah, that's...
So I think at this point she's been missing for like about 15 years or something like that. But, she's been missing for a fair long time. And
so...
they claim that she's still alive. In fact, when there's been kind of anybody who says that she's still alive, to want to comment on it, they've said no, she's still alive, which gives people speculation that she may be in one of these compounds,
probably.
Right? And in fact,
the whole probably
these journalists and reporters who say that they can point to the building that she's in, but she's just not allowed to come out, and she's there as part of punishment, because apparently there was a couple of witnesses to say that she was, they'd had an argument, and David was really angry with her. More angry than anyone's ever seen him angry with her.
Then I would
and then she disappeared. Yeah. You know, the idea that she might be in this compound, but I mean, how many years? I mean, it's a long time to be, you know, held prisoner.
Do you know what it looks like? You know, like you see wooden shacks. Let's say a double
it sounds
wooden
like
shack.
One of these sort of it's like a double wide trailer put together. It's basically
there was a bunch of trailers, but they're office based. This is the thing that it's sort of like it's an office in there. But it's also people getting tortured and abusing each other, but also learning.
Learning about Scientology.
Or getting your head fucked up even more.
Well, this is
because it was into hypnotism as well.
Do you know what they were learning? Because, I mean, obviously, when you did get to a certain level, you learn what it was all about. Yeah. This is top-level stuff.
Oh, yeah. Can we say it? I don't know. We might get fucked over.
I mean, like, you know...
They don't like to say it.
The funny thing is, though, right, if I'd paid all this money and had been, like, trying to get more information about this religion and, like, you know, what it all means and can you tell me?
Yeah.
And they go, well, another $25,000 and you're nearly there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like... And then all of a sudden they give you the gist and you're like... You can rather take it one of a couple of ways, I think. You can rather kind of buy it and go, oh, all right then, and just agree with it because you've spent so much money. You almost feel like you need to carry on because otherwise, what was it all for?
But there is a problem within that because sometimes, majority of the times, they even knock you back down. You could pay it and then they go, you know what? We fucked up on something. You've got to be knocked down again until we sort it out next time. This is the kind of get more money out of you. Why not?
I mean, it starts getting a bit far out. I mean, and obviously with Elon Hubbard being a bit of a sci-fi writer, this is where I question a lot. Like, you know, he made most of this up. So in the law of the Church of Scientology, Xenu. Yeah.
Oh, Xenu.
Yeah, Xenu was a dictator of the Galactic Confederacy.
No.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
We got a dictator.
Who brought billions of his people to Earth, right? He had to freeze them. Yeah.
All right. Why? So
they could stand... Get here.
Get here on time, yeah.
But then...
How did they get here?
He brought them in DC-8 style spacecraft.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's a nice golden spacecraft.
Still had the wings.
South Park do it brilliantly, actually. But 75 million years ago this was. And then he stacked them all around volcanoes.
Oh, why would he want to do that?
I don't know, maybe to melt the ice that was but he didn't because obviously all these beings died. But basically, that's what holds the Thetans, right?
Yeah.
So the Thetans were like an alien souls, right? And they were... But Xenu, he knew that this was going to happen, so he captured all the souls, and he brainwashed them into being like mindless, And this is actually what Scientologists believe, right? This is God's honest or Xenu honest, right?
What Putin's doing to Russia.
And they basically wandered the earth until man came about, right? And then they attached themselves to man, and that is the source of all your fears, nightmares, and anxieties.
Is all of that creature
because of that guy, that Xenu, the Galactic Confederacy.
God? Would you call him a god?
Well, no, because I don't think he did anything remotely godly there.
Why?
Firstly, he brought a load of aliens. He froze all these people.
Yeah.
He threw them all in volcanoes.
Yeah.
Then captured the souls, brainwashed them, and then sent them on a barren planet.
Yeah, they're all praying to him.
Until they could find another thing to latch onto.
Well, they must put him as the god because that's who they.
I mean, we've talked about stuff like this, about like these jinns and stuff. That were basically wandering the land until they were able to attach onto human bodies. It is a similar sort of tale.
Well, true.
But,
which we did it a couple of weeks back.
If you want to check the episode out, I mean, that is kind of what he's talking about there. But
yeah, true.
I mean, the guy. I mean,
but then the church has got to have a god. Who's the god, David? Or is it going to be the alien?
Is, the secret advanced knowledge. Of Scientology.
You know what? There's a lot of that.
Now, if I was Tom Cruise, do you know when you see him laughing like maniacally?
Yeah.
Yeah. I look at him and think, you got told this Xenu stuff and you'd paid millions and millions and millions to be in this club.
You know what I saw?
And then you went, you're fucking kidding me. And then he broke down and just started laughing maniacally forever.
You know what I saw? Has he got false teeth? Because
he
when I saw,
maybe.
I did not see any like pink gums. I saw it like
it's just all teeth, isn't he?
It could be.
Yeah.
It could be. He could have had it said, or he could be.
Well,
an alien.
you know
that
know. They awarded him, Tom Cruise, it's called the Freedom Medal of Valor.
Oh, the chocolate button.
The big well, this is the thing. It looks massive, yeah, but I just think that's because Tom's so small.
Yeah.
Tom's so small, and the medal just looks huge. And he's like, "Thank you for my medal. I really appreciate it."
Why don't you get me a fucking hat?
It's a big chocolate coin. Yeah, but the Freedom Medal of Valor is a medal awarded to Scientologists. Yeah, it's a large version of the more common Freedom Medal awarded to actual people.
What, go into all the people's houses that are part of the group, or like shag the wives, or you know.
Now the regular medal, brings you freedom, but they say that the Freedom Medal of Valor, brings you greater freedom to mankind, even greater.
Freedom from the mental.
So it was
health
established in 1985. The Freedom Medal has had 80 recipients over the years. However, to date, the Freedom Medal of Valor has only been one, has had but one single recipient, Tom Cruise.
Fuck off. When was that made then? That must have been made like a couple of weeks before he fucking got it.
So the Freedom Medal is our date, but this first one is the first one Tom Cruise has only ever won it. It was just to give Tom Cruise a medal.
Yeah, exactly.
Because basically they said that Tom Cruise has brought more than 1 billion people to Scientology.
Oh, 1 billion people? No way 1 billion people even know who they are.
Well, L. Ron Hubbard walked 1 million miles, and Tom Cruise brought in over 1 billion people.
Yeah, fucking hell. You like big numbers,
They're all about the big numbers.
Yeah.
They're all like,
especially
85% of people would tell you that's true.
Yeah.
100% of the time.
Oh, fucking hell. Next they'll be turning around saying they go and see SpongeBob every now and again for a fucking pizza.
Maybe.
Wow.
Well,
SpongeBob's a bit busy at the minute. He's doing films.
You seem to know a lot about SpongeBob.
Well, he's famous, isn't he? You know what I mean? So, Scientology likes to get a little bit of the fucking fame.
Yeah. So, that's. I mean, there's quite a lot of different levels to Scientology. Yeah. I mean, obviously,
there's a lot more.
The lower levels are more individual, sort of, kind of like lessons. But then, as you get more into it, I think it starts giving you a bit more knowledge.
You're more locked up, but more knowledge of what they're about.
Yeah, so but by that point, you can't get out, and you're one of these, SPs.
It's good ways of getting out.
So, and you're missing.
Yeah.
I mean, do you know the King of Queens? I can't. What's she called? Lorna.
Kings of Queens woman.
King of Queens woman. Yeah, right. I mean, she seems to have had a really bad time with it.
Yeah.
Now, when David's wife went missing, she was the only one who actually filed the missing persons report.
That's right.
Anything
Even
like
David
that. David didn't. Yeah, and he's like, his wife's just disappeared.
But then unless she ain't got a body, and they must have some kind of evidence that the police must have checked some. She's probably locked away. That's what I say. She's locked away. She's come out, and they've gone. Right,
yeah, but that's still
is,
against your human rights. Even
she hasn't spoke up because she's been mindful.
Maybe it's because she's been locked up.
Yeah,
how can she speak up when she's trapped in a room?
Yeah, and when you're in that room, you're getting fucked in the head every day, every second of every day. They've got control of you, haven't they?
Yeah. Well, the last bit of information I've got, anyway, is that they've got a bunker. Yeah. At the moment, they've built themselves a bunker, and these high-level guys at the moment, Scientology dudes, who are etching L. Ron Hubbard's text, of this, the Dianetics, the fucking science of making, mental health.
Yeah.
The text on titanium plates. Yeah.
Okay.
Because they know that'll last at least 6,000 years. Yeah.
Smart thinking.
So, and they're going to put it in a bunker, and then at the end of the world, the apocalypse or whatever,
whoever
that'll be the only religion.
Find it and turn around and go, what a bunch of dickheads they were.
Let's go, what?
Yeah, what the fuck's this?
What the hell?
Well, why can't we have someone called Jesus or Mohammed or
any of the others? Yeah. Well, I found this Bible.
Yeah,
and I think that says
no, that's rubbish. That we've actually got the equipment.
Wait a minute. That's on paper.
Yeah.
That's on titanium. I think I'm going to believe the titanium one.
Yeah, exactly. They thought about it, haven't they?
Felt the weight of that. It's good quality titanium, that.
Yeah, I'm fucking flogging it.
I mean, do you buy Scientology? I mean, are you interested in Scientology? We'd love to hear from you. Are you a Scientologist?
Yeah, if you want
we'd like to hear from you. Want you to come on the show and tell us.
I want to question you.
Yeah, I mean, we've focused on some of the bad stuff that we found out, but
we want to hear your side.
I'm interested if you've got a good side and what positive things do you guys do, or if you want to confirm the stories that are kind of we've been talking about. Then even better, come on the show.
Yeah, come on the show. You know, we don't want to be followed or anything like that, but you know, come on the show, have a little chinwag.
Mr. S.P. Taylor, you antisocial behaviour.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I don't want a camera in my face every 5 minutes. You know what these psychologists are like.
I'm Taylor, and I'm a psychologist.
Yeah. It's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it?
It's been 6 weeks since my last psychologist. Right, well, moving on.
We will.
Have you got anything else you'd like to add?
No, except for it sounds like they're a bunch of nut jobs and like they should be closed down. And actually, I think because
that's a bold statement.
The only reason that they're a church is because they ticked all them boxes. They're not actually religious.
No, they should be reevaluated on their status as a church by now.
Exactly,
I think,
because there are actually churches in America that are like gay haters. Actually, a church for
and they
gay
only
hating.
exist because Scientology got through and set a precedent.
Yeah, and they could tick all them boxes. So it sort of needs a review of it.
It does.
But the government does want to take it away from him, but they can't because they've actually, in legal
and
law.
Unless Xenu of the High Galactic Confederacy comes down and tells us otherwise, I ain't buying what they're selling. Yeah. Anyway, we're moving on.
Yes.
We've got more stuff coming up in the show.
Let's get into the proper stuff now.
The proper stuff.
Yeah,
that's for
real life.
Real life. Let's phase back into real life. Well, we've got a promo for you.
We have.
And here they are.
Are you into top 10 lists? What about pop culture? Or maybe you're just a nerd like us. We've got a show for you, loser. Hi, I'm Nick.
I'm Brandon.
We're the hosts of the Tennish Podcast, a comedy and edutainment podcast covering a new top 10ish list every week, including fun facts and trivia. We've covered lists such as the top 10 most popular 90s songs on Spotify,
the deadliest animals,
the worst U.S. presidents,
the leading causes of death,
the best-selling video game franchises,
the most common murder methods.
Okay, are you going to give one that isn't about death?
The deadliest jobs in America.
Listen to these and countless other top 10 lists every Wednesday at tennishpod.com or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Top horror villains by their kill count.
I think we're done here.
If you listen to this podcast, there's a good chance you will die.
We are the Tennish Podcast. That's 10ISH. Bye.
Well, thank you very much to Nick and the team over at Tennish Podcast for sending in their promo. You can send your promo in too. All you got to do is send it to neverstraightanswer@gmail.com and we could be featuring you on the show. It's that simple.
It is.
Jesus Christ.
Easy peasy.
We send it and then we play it.
We do?
Dead easy.
Yeah.
It's like build it and they will come.
And you'll get recognised.
You'll get recognised. You get a bit of you get recognised in the street.
Yeah.
This is what I've been telling people. If you do see Taylor in the street, do follow him and stalk him in every possible
just say
way.
Hello.
Because,
And if you got a spliff on you, sweet.
Happy days.
Even happy days.
People are like, all right, mate. You just be like, all right, mate, I've got a spliff. Do you want to
sit
share
with
a
chill
spliff?
for hours on talking shit all day.
Well, this is it. I was saying this about our Patreon tier, like, you know, the Wake and Bake on a Sunday morning. Like, where we just kind of carry on the show.
Yeah.
But we don't. We stop the show recording, but then, like, you can join us in a
private little chat.
Private chat.
Yeah.
If you like. Anyway. That might be something.
Bad, it might come up in the future.
If you like it.
Yeah.
Hey.
Might have to test it one night.
So, we've got some news coming up, I believe.
We have, yes.
Yes.
Lots of news.
Well, we should get on with it then, because do you know what? It's like I feel like we're surrounded by Scientologists, I feel like the house has been surrounded.
We've been
so
stalking
we best get on with the news.
Yeah.
And here we go. It's the news! We've stalked the web. If that's what we've been doing, we stalked the web for news.
Yeah,
and you know what? I found some news, man. I found loads of news today.
There's loads of news out there.
There's loads of stuff happening, but I want to start the news on a really sad story, actually, which I was really shocked this morning when I saw it.
Yeah.
And it's the tragic death of Taylor Hawkins. Of the Foo Fighters. He was a drummer, and he died at age 50. The guy was an absolute rock star. What can you do? I mean, it's like the drummer he's been with the Foo Fighters for years. I think the rumor was like Dave Grohl was like, I need to find a new drummer. Can you recommend anyone?
Yeah.
And he went, me.
Me.
I will be your, and but he tried to get poached by by Guns N' Roses. They wanted him to join them when they were reforming. And apparently he got some advice from another rock legend who basically said, stick where you are because you've got a good chemistry with Dave Grohl. And it's a bit of a sad story as well because obviously we know what happened with Nirvana. Yeah. And obviously Dave was the drummer for Nirvana.
Yeah.
And Kurt Cobain, his bandmate, tragically died in a suicide or conspiracy.
It's an open investigation.
It is, and probably will be for a while, or forever, or whatever. There'll always be people who go, I know what happened.
Yeah.
Anyway, but like, I feel bad for Dave now. It's like, where'd you go? I mean, do you just kind of call it a day or get another drummer? I mean, he's always one for just carrying on. I mean,
it's true. Get on another.
Is it disrespectful though? I mean, like when your bandmate dies in that respect.
No, because
look at kind of like Joy Division and New Order. I mean, you've got a statement there in one sense where you're changing the name to New Order, but it also means there's a new order to the band. There's a new structure from Joy Division. We're changing direction. And it's like you kind of have to almost outfit yourself as another group. You change the name and you're not that anymore because the Foo Fighters were those guys. And it's like you take one of them away. Are they strictly the Foo Fighters anymore? Do you know what I mean? And since Taylor Hawkins was such a strong part of that.
Well, that's like take Robbie Williams away.
So far from that.
You got a singer down.
Well, it's a tragic loss. Like I say, the guy was an absolute rock star. I mean, I loved it when they'd swap roles and he'd come out and he'd do a bit of Queen and, he's a real good showman. He even had a side project, his own band.
Yeah, I see.
And,
Moonlighting was we?
Moonlighting, yeah. That was a news story I saw that I just wanted to touch on. So, obviously, God bless. Anything you want to talk about?
There was a big wedding in London on Wednesday, the 23rd.
Oh, really? Who was getting married?
Julian Assange in Belmarsh.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously.
It was like, you can now kiss the bride through the bars.
Yeah.
It's like hand on the glass situation.
Stella Morris.
With the little phone going, do you take Stella Morris to be your lawful wedded wife?
Who's she?
It's like, I do.
Only if I get to kiss her.
Do we get conjugals?
Yeah, well, he's getting married, isn't he, before? It's his long-term partner. He knows he's going over to America, even though they haven't got a goddamn case against him.
She's not one of these who, she's like, I love men who are on death row who are about to be extradited to another country because they're solo maintenance.
Pamela Anderson was quite a bit close to him.
Was she?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Old Pan Am.
Yeah. She visited him at the embassy a couple of times.
Really? I wonder
Yeah,
what
and
she
there was
had
a
to say.
rumour that they might be, getting together.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
You see, this is it. It's like unlikely
Well, she
couples
says no,
blows my
just good
mind
friends.
at the moment for some reason. And it's like, when I see couples, then I'm not even interested in the slightest at who they are. Yeah. So I've not got the slightest interest in Kim Kardashian.
Oh, yeah.
In any stretch of the imagination. But
totally with you.
I kept seeing things on YouTube about Pete Davidson from Saturday Night Live being in an argumentative situation with Kanye West, and I was like, "What's that about?" Yeah,
Probably
and then,
Pam.
well, no, it's over Kim Kardashian because she's not with Kanye West anymore. She's with Pete Davidson.
Oh, is she gone with him now?
Yeah, and I just thought an unlikely
right.
couple, and the fact that they were together was like mind blowing.
See, because I don't know what.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care about her, but it was like I find him kind of funny.
Yeah,
but I couldn't see them as a pairing for some reason. Obviously, peel the onion, innit?
Well, yeah,
Got to
that's
peel
it,
the onion.
That's it. Well,
you
she
can't
was,
just
she was
get a
hanging around
whiff
with a
of the
nutter for a
first
while,
skin.
wasn't she? So you know what I mean. So you don't
What
know
Kanye?
Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, he has done his
I got my Yeezys
spectacular
on.
things every now and again. You know what I mean.
Ah, well.
He's done his little business, giving his mouth and.
Do you know we did that story last week about Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Oh, Big Arnie, yeah.
Yeah. Well, basically, he did a bit of a we declare. To be peace and all that. He wanted peace and love between the Ukraine.
Sure, wait, a piece of pizza.
The Ukraine and
Russia. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's fair enough. I mean, Arnie's an influential guy.
Yeah.
He's probably brought.
He's been a politician, so
he
he's
must have brought a billion people to Scientology.
Well, yeah.
Did he fuck right? Yeah,
he ain't that stupid.
But he's basically put out this video. We talked about it last week. And put it out on multiple platforms, and especially platforms that were mainly used in Russia to try and get the real truth out there.
Yeah, they need to learn the truth.
Basically, the Kremlin's basically declared war on Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Fuck off! What? Are they going to nuke him or something?
Kremlin TV just declared war on Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Like what? They're not going to show any of his videos over there anymore.
Well, like I say, the video appeared on in many Russian people's streams. The famed film star and former California governor posted his video on Twitter, but also lesser known Telegram, which is almost exclusively used by Russians. For days, it was on people's media trends and, going around the web.
Yeah.
And the TV stations wouldn't talk about it.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
But it was big news.
That's right.
But then they decided to address it. They've kind of shunned the video clip.
Because they're admitting it there then.
Well, yeah,
he's
exactly.
turned around and actually done this video.
So, they said they just think he's been westernized as a kind of a European who's gone over to America.
They've got no other fucking
They've got nothing nice to say, have they? But they were raging about Arnold Schwarzenegger in the video clip.
Has he come back with anything yet?
They
go fuck yourself.
Well, they likened him to an Uncle Sam type character. Almost like trying to, use propaganda.
You know what he wants to do now?
To rally people on their side, if you like.
That's what he wants to do now. He wants to get in front of the camera.
We're all Nazis. We're all Nazis, apparently.
He wants to get on the camera and have that there, and him dressed as that, and speak some more. And let's see how the Russians the Russian government would come back with that, because he's got now to lose if they're after him now. You know what I mean? What are they going to do?
I suppose so, yeah.
They'll have to send a fucking good hit squad.
Putin's going to send a hit squad after the
Terminator. You know what I mean? He's going to fuck you up, son.
You try to defeat me. It's not going to happen.
In fact, we should just send Arnie in now.
Yeah, do you know what?
Just kill Putin.
Well, I was thinking that. It's like, you've opened season on
you know what I mean?
On invasions. It's like, well, why don't we all get together and invade them? That'd be
bad
fun.
idea, that.
You know what I mean? It's like they think it's cool to do it. So,
we
we must be missing out.
Yeah.
Must be missing out on something. So, yeah, maybe it was a good idea.
Yeah. Let's all go in raiding. Right, let's go. Let's make a movement.
Let's
go,
Moscow.
everyone cross the border. Bam. Yeah, that'll be a surprise for him. That shits him up, wouldn't it? If everyone decides, right, we're crossing your border, mate, and we're going to take.
We
your
all
shit.
just ran at him.
Yeah, you know what I mean, don't bother firing nukes over there because there's no fucker over there.
We're all over here.
Yeah.
But that's what I said about, like, you know, if anyone points a bazooka at you or an RPG, just run and hug them.
Yeah,
because they can't kill you. Then you know what you're gonna do. They can't fucking pointing an RPG down. They're gonna blow themselves up as well.
You could dodge that.
Just go and hug him.
Unless you got a pistol.
See, because love.
Then
love is the key.
Maybe a 33, and I'd shoot the end of it.
Yeah.
Blow it up.
Maybe. Anything else you've got in the news? I'm sorry, I was trying to sort out the backing track.
Yes, I have. Well. P and Q.
P and Q. Don't they make like aren't they DIY stuff?
I was there yesterday actually. Yeah, they were. They do. They do a lot more than that as well nowadays.
Go on. What's P and O?
P and O. That's it. Why have I put
ferries.
Q for some reason?
You're talking about the ferries. This is a bit of a disruption. Where they were. Yeah.
800
sacked
people
a load of people illegally.
Within half an hour, it was like, right, get your shit, fuck off, bye-bye.
But have you seen how much they're paying the new people? They're like, we're on £1.50 an hour.
Yeah, and there's even people who got on board.
But the thing is,
found out and then decided I'm fucking off.
They couldn't be seen to do it right. So basically, if they went and got kind of looked at because they felt like they were doing something illegal, and then they were found not to be doing something illegal, then that opens the floodgates for businesses because they can go then, oh, they did it, and they said it was legal, so I can now sack all my employees and get agency workers cheap as chips.
Well,
and
the thing is,
and that's perfectly fine, but it's like P&O have admitted that what they were doing was illegal. They needed to go through a consultation period, which they didn't do, and that, as a result, they've got to pay out all their staff compensation now, and if they don't, I mean, some of them want the jobs back, but I mean, it's that, would you really want to work for that company, knowing that this is how they behave in that situation?
This is why companies win more than anything, because right now they can take them to a tribunal, right? So take them to the tribunal. It's going to take a year or two. After that, you're going to get your results. You know what? By the time you've paid off the fucking lawyer and all that, you've got about $1,000. You won't walk out with anything more than $2,000 through all that shit.
So you're basically saying they just take the money.
Worthless.
You may as well just take the money.
Yeah, they're just, you know what I mean? And they've done it all wrong, and they've done it through a loophole, which the Prime Minister's going to have a look at and see if any of his mates are doing it, because if they are, then he's going to leave it alone, and if his mates aren't doing it, then he might do it a bit of change.
Okay.
And that's probably going to take about fucking 6 months to go through, because nothing seems to be rushed unless, like, our eyes are looking somewhere else.
I'm assuming that they'd kind of look at how much, a payout would cost based on, like what they, if they went the distance, what they'd have to pay out there.
Yeah, because they're not turning back. They're definitely keeping the way it's gone, and they're not turning back. They'd rather pay the consequence than actually take on board.
Well, because in the long term, they've got these staff who were on way less money than them, and they'll make that profit back at some point. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, so that's the way they see it.
They already got $12.5 million for fuck all over the fucking COVID area.
It's not funny that
we should, which a lot of MPs have asked for, take the license away.
The thing was, over the COVID thing, there was a lot of people being made redundant over Skype.
Yeah.
Or over Zoom.
Yeah, or even Texas.
Yeah, because there was no alternative. You couldn't have the face-to-face meeting. You had to have the consultation, but it was over Zoom. Yeah. Now we're all in outrage when, like, it's a company drops it on you, all the staff, over social media or over text message or whatever. But let's face it, a lot of people had that during the lockdown. And it's not nice, because you kind of like, you have that call, and then once the call's ended, you sat in your house going, what the fuck do we do now? You know what I mean? It's like, and it almost gave him the right to be able to do it covertly or chicken shitly, and get away with it just doing it over Skype. I'm glad that's out the way.
Yeah. But there's always been issues over it. I mean, kind of like 0-hour contracts. Now, 0-hour contracts, I believe in October, it will be illegal to be doing it. You've got you've got to send a contract out, and you've got to basically.
Well, people want job security.
Contract. Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing. It's
but
like, you work in a position. You kind of like you have an idea that if you put your all in, you might want to be there for a while, and but having a contract, but 0-hour contracts or very little hour contracts, they do two things.
Work in some aspects.
Well, look at it this way, right? So if you've got a company where you've got you need a certain amount of employees, but you're working with the government to help them with the statistics, to say we've got so many people back to work this month, right? To get your numbers up. Yeah, so say like your Tesco's or your supermarkets or Asda's or wherever, Walmart, they offer really low hourly contracts. So, they'll give you a contract of 11 hours or something like that a week. But that means they still need people the rest of the hours, but it means they can take more people on at, longer shifts, but less hours doing them. Do you know what I mean? So one shift at 11 hours shift or whatever. Yeah. And then the next guy comes in the next day. But statistically speaking, they've hired so many employees that year.
Yeah, true. But how can we, as a employee, get our rights and get what we deserve from the employees? As a lot of employees, let's get it right, take the piss and try and get you on as cheap as chips and like
employers.
Employers,
of course they do, because it's good business.
Yeah,
that's
exactly,
the thing.
because they keep the profits margin.
This is the reason why this P&O happened in the first place, because you've got to look at it as they're a business that is a travel industry business. They are reliant on people traveling. And when COVID hit, they were forced to close down. You've got a load of boats sat in docks, unsupplied, uncrewed. Everyone's at home with COVID or in lockdown or whatever, right? So then you get the go-ahead to bring all that back on, but you've been losing revenue for the last God knows how many months. And you've got to now bring those ships back online. So you've got to restock them, resupply them with fuel. You've got to get all your staff in sorted. You've got to start selling tickets. You've got all these startup costs, and then a war happens, which suddenly we're already in a fuel crisis, makes the cost of fuel go up, which means that's the end of your company. You've got to make a decision. I'm not saying what they did was right, but obviously they've decided to save their company. This is what they've got to do.
So basically,
and that's what they said. That's what they said the reasons behind it were, and I get that.
They've done what the banks did in 2008.
But what
they didn't have cover for themselves. They over the last
they didn't
10,
have
15 years, 30 years, they've had money and they've earned profit every single year. So when you earn profit, you put a part of that away
because
for
they
bad
don't
days.
want to spend. Yeah. They don't want to spend into their profit, and they just want to kind of keep going at that profit
and
level.
That's bad business, and that's why so many businesses, because we governments have allowed them to have so much more control over what they can do. I mean, it's like pharmaceutical like kind of businesses. They get the agency that looks after them gets paid by them. So how you expect them to turn around and go, well, you've been a naughty boy, we're putting fine on you. Oh, well, if you're going to put a fine on me, we're not going to pay you so much next year. You know what I mean? So they lose money, and it's all about money.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
definitely.
It's stupid, and it's not even like it's a small group. It's a part of a big group, and the guy who actually owns it got $8 billion last year. So he can at least put
probably
a little
bonus
bit
as well in it. Yeah.
So it's bad business.
I mean, in terms of fuel, we're talking then about fuel. But like, have you been feeling the pinch?
Yes.
At the pumps,
I have.
as they say,
paying an extra more.
I mean, so you're getting like kind of less, significantly less petrol for your money.
Yeah.
There's
Definitely.
a customer here who was in the States who couldn't afford. Filled the tank up.
All right.
But it turned out to be a $416 bill.
Whoa, for one tank?
For one tank.
Fucking hell,
Couldn't
what was it, a
afford
military
it,
tank?
had to return the next day. I used to work in a petrol station many years ago, and we had that a lot. You know, people would forget the wallets, or they'd fill up and then go, shit, you wouldn't believe it, but I've lost my wallet, or whatever.
Did most of them come back? Or?
We take the reg and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, we take the car reg. We take, information.
Now,
if they had something they could leave as collateral.
Yeah.
You know,
those
type
enough,
of precautions. But, you know, they basically, got the sheriff involved. And the sheriff said, as long as you return tomorrow and pay, you're good. But, But it's putting people in situations where they have to kind of go, oh shit, I'm a bit short, or can I come back tomorrow?
Well, in America, it's hitting them really hard compared to us, to be honest. Because
I think the roads have been super quiet the last couple of days, and I don't know whether that's just due to the price of fuel and no one's choosing to drive.
And
or if it's just because it's been nice weather.
Yeah, people are getting pissed instead
People
of
are
driving,
away for the weekend or whatever. But the last couple of days have been really quiet on the roads.
In a bit area, I'm loving it, actually.
Well, if you can afford to drive, then it's probably really good.
Yeah.
But,
get me a car on the road, I'll be fucking driving everywhere.
I mean, if you're feeling the pinch on it, hopefully it will be out of that. Or get a bike.
Yeah.
Somebody was talking about bikes, and I was like, that 0.00 pence on the litre if you've got a bike.
Yeah, and I was talking to you about how they're looking at the electric cars. They're going to be put in every mile. They're going to be put in a certain amount of pennies for every mile instead of paying, petrol.
So free petrol, but it's...
it'd be all electric. So you have to pay for them electric cars to be put in. And then when you drive... Yeah, but there's no tax, or we could have been driving on just fucking water, you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally, I get that.
There's no tax being paid.
Well, so they just need a way of charging you for doing
money,
something that you're already paying to do.
I was saying to you that there's a possibility, which, knowing these governments the way they've been running the last 20, 30 years, that a cyclist will probably end up getting charged fucking 20p a fucking mile or something soon.
Nah, they can't do that.
Within the next 10 years.
They can't moderate it. They couldn't moderate it. They'd have to GPS you all up so they could prove it.
Well, the GPS the bike, because what they're doing is that...
good, because they may be able to find them when they get stolen.
For a car,
Saying
for
that,
every
actually,
mile.
there was a story I saw about bikes.
Yeah.
It was a guy down in Oxfordshire who had over 2,500 bikes or something in his back garden.
Fuck?
Yeah, it was a ridiculous number. It might not have been that excessive.
What, or did he rob
That could have been a Scientologist estimate.
Oh, wow,
you know what I mean? But there was quite a lot. In fact, the garden from drone shot looked like it was corner to corner, full of bikes. I mean, he's probably had some nice bikes in there, but the police seized them all after neighbours were complaining.
Complaining of what?
Complaining that he basically had a chop shop in his back garden. It was a bicycle chop shop, mainly stolen bikes.
Right.
There was complaints of people turning up with new bikes to go in the pile.
Yeah.
There was bikes turning up every day.
So he had a couple of runners all around.
He had absolute thousands of bikes. There was so many, right?
Now.
But I had that next door to me a few years ago, where they basically raided this house. And they were brought out about 300 bikes from this guy's back garden. And I was just like, that is amazing. But apparently what he was doing is they were stealing bikes, chopping them up, changing the parts about, and selling them on.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's less recognisable as the bike that got stolen.
That's true, but you can get chips for him now, chip them up.
Oh, yeah, that's it. All these air tags and stuff like that. You can get GPS your bikes. But I think basically it is worth it these days to do. Or at least,
we're going to go green. We've got to go
at
back.
least write down your serial number.
Yeah, that's true.
Because that's handy bit of information.
Yeah, but even if that, like with yours, you can report it and they won't fucking do now.
Oh yeah, because I've never told the listeners the story that. Yeah, so my bike got stolen, didn't it? Yeah, and then it turned up on Facebook Marketplace. So I was like, oh mate, that's my bike. So I ended up going, oh well, getting into a dialogue with this guy who was like, you can come and buy it for £500. And I was like, oh mate, he wanted me to meet him on the dodgiest estate in Manchester. Yeah. he's under the apprehension that I've got £500 in my pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm
He
coming
could
to buy
just
this
snatch
bike.
off you and fuck
Oh,
off.
well, I didn't have it. I just wanted my bike back.
Yeah,
but
totally.
obviously, I decided not to bother. It was a bit too dodgy for my blood, that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
especially when you went to the station.
But what's when you tell the police, you know, you've got all the guys' details, you know exactly who's got it. Can you just go round and get it for
I'll
me?
go round. Yeah,
Oh, you think that's handing him on a plate?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but no, they couldn't do anything. In fact, when I gave him the phone number, they rang him up and went, "Hiya, I believe you've got a stolen bike, have you?" And I was like, "Well, that's fucking gonna help, innit? That's gonna be in a canal by night.
That's how smart the police
clever
are
bastards.
today. Yeah, they are so cunning.
They've probably been on this DMT.
Yeah.
Have you heard of this?
Yeah, it's the only one I want to try.
They call it the God particle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's street like bit of street lingo there. Yeah, so it's apparently like a drug that helps you see like have an experience, but like it's hallucinogenic.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, $1 million worth
That's
of highly potent. Highly potent DMT has been seized.
Fucking hell, so they could be off their nut and not even realise.
Yeah, so it was a 37-year-old man's been arrested on drug charges after authorities found $1 million worth of the hallucinogenic DMT at his home.
What's his address?
The shipment of drugs was mailed to his address.
Whoa,
so he's got it on the dark web and went, put my own name on it. I'll pay with it with my credit card. Yeah. So he's done that, and had it delivered to his house. Obviously that meant all the drugs enforcement agencies,
he knew where it was going.
Everyone was like, fucking,
let's trap the fuck
get in there, fucking
kick the door down when he's there going, oh, look at this sample.
Yeah, so they raided him and found a street value of more than $1 million worth.
Boy, where did he get
He
that
was
money?
trying to have a fucking proper religious experience with it. He was trying to see Ron Hubbard.
Although I think there's a lot of people
He was trying to get back to
Xenu to actually take this stuff, because there's been so much not bad news, but so much more good feelings.
You know what it's about, don't you? I mean, LSD and like hallucinogenics. They're made by the CIA, and I mean that's the only good thing they ever did.
Yeah, that's
to be honest, but inventing LSD. But like the fact that when new drugs come on the market or come on the scene, it makes me wonder where they've come from and are they part of a big psyop or sort of like
they're always at
big experiment on everyone, because they're always at it.
Yeah, they're always at it.
You can't deny it.
They're even admitting it today.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? If you look into certain agencies, they admit that they're going to give their own employees.
They're going to be, of course they did. I mean, in terms of what they were giving them back in the 60s, they were like, actually just fucking just having, they would know, I think they got really into it, a lot of the CIA agents, when they were all doing the LSD tests and shit. I think they got into it to an extent where they started taking it socially, or were just taking it because they really liked it. Because
there's a lot of dabbing into that goes on in big businesses.
I mean, microdosing's big, and people say that it helps them focus, be more creative.
It's good in one way, but it
be more kind of productive and stuff. And I mean, again, if as long as you're not kind of abusing anything, it's like some things can help.
Well, I'm not really into chemical kind of shit, but the only one I would take would be DMT under
his own natural. Here's one for you then, because an au natural solution to the afterlife. So some people like being buried, some people like want to be cremated. I want to be lost at sea, potentially dropped off in.
Lost at sea?
I don't know. No.
In the ocean.
Nah, I don't like the sea now. But if I'm dead, I wouldn't be really that arsed, would I?
Well, I wouldn't. But I've always thought of it.
I just want to be buried.
If I'm
just bury me with loads of jewels and nice things.
Yeah, not mine, but loads of jewels from someone. But I've always put it as if you're cremated, it's like it's sort of slightly going to the devil. because of the fire.
Yeah, I
But
suppose
if you're
I know what
buried,
saying
you're
there.
you're still above the surface and you're still there in a kind of way.
Well, is it not just a vessel at that point? Because once you die,
Yeah,
if
totally
you have a
vessel.
spirit and it's, the moment you die, your spirit vacates your body, then potentially your body's just useless. It's just a vessel that needs disposing of. So in the
Yeah, but
same
I'd
way,
feed
when I
the
eat a packet
planet.
of crisp, I eat the crisp, and that's the content. Yeah.
Yeah.
But once the contents, exited the packet, that's the vessel that goes to the bin.
But if you've got something that you can neutralise, so you put a body in an area, obviously like worms, stuff like that come out, then you're fermenting and stuff like that.
Well, this is what
then
this
you're
story is
feeding
about.
the area
Yeah,
as
but
well.
this is what this story is about, because you've just hit the nail on the head, because apparently people are saying human composting is a new way of staying green even after you die, right?
Yeah.
Now, I find a hole in that straight away, and it's a grave-size hole, because when you die and you're buried, of course, that's exactly what you become. Compost.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? You go back into the soil, you become soil, right?
Yeah.
So
what are they doing
why
then?
are they
Pounding them
bothered?
up in the fucking
Exactly,
corner?
that's what I mean. It's like the way that they make it describe is like you're just getting thrown on the compost heap with the rest of the bodies. But if you're buried, you are still contributing into terms of like putting back in nutrients into the ground. Why do you need to be composted?
Well, yeah, exactly. It's cheaper probably. That's probably what it will come down to.
Yeah.
It costs you like 50p.
Well, it's a new trend known as body composting. It's taking the US by storm, and it's often the environmentally friendly solution to people looking to stay green.
Good luck to
even
you,
after they
USOs.
pass on. The process called terranation is beginning to being introduced into US funeral care providers. The corpses are placed.
You got to pay for everything over there, though, don't you? So
in airtight vessels and surrounded by a bulking mixture. Yeah, of sawdust. Yeah. These organics kind of quickly break up, and
so you're getting stuff put on you to break you up faster, so they can move you along. And then
there's like a heat, obviously, because of them decomposing.
Yeah.
Right. And they retain that heat naturally, avoiding it going all nasty. So you end up becoming like a proper compost. Imagine being the guy who has to stick his pitchfork in and turn it over.
Yeah, why don't you just bury us without a fucking coffin?
I know, yeah, that just makes no sense.
That's the way to do it.
I mean, the only contaminants there are the brass fucking hooks and buckles and whatnot,
exactly.
Like hinges.
You're breaking up wood that you've got to go and chop down.
That's what I'm saying, it makes no sense. I mean, the idea behind it sounds kind of like, I understand, but why stick... So then you've just got to store a load of plastic fucking tubes with bodies in them.
Yeah, that
sounds pretty morbid. I've got a chest freezer we can put about 2 in.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? Nice and frozen.
Oh, yes.
Anyway,
chill it.
Any news that you saw? I mean, let us know what you guys think about this new method of decomposing, composting, if you like.
The cheaper way.
I bet it's not though. I bet it's like, oh mate, I bet Fingy's gone in for it.
That'd be cheaper than a funeral.
Chris Martin's definitely gone in for it.
Oh yeah. He'd be the first one on the list.
Oh yeah,
and his ex.
Oh, just, because I'm so concerned, I just want to save the planet, and if I didn't save the planet when I was alive, I want to contribute to saving the planet after
He's actually making a perfume out of it. The smell?
Yeah, decomposing
candle.
smell
decomposing pussy.
Yeah, decomposing candles. Yeah, smell like the afterlife with Gwyneth Paltrow.
Smell gorgeous. Smell like me when I get up in the morning.
Horse breath.
Oh, yeah.
Stinking of avocado.
Oh, girl, yeah.
Right, well, moving on.
Yes, well, you heard about
Poor
this
Gwyneth.
new phone?
No.
There is
a new phone?
A new phone.
Right,
and
come
it's
on.
Not a smartphone.
No, because you're going to tell me something. Right, is there any room in the world for a new phone? Right, because let's put it bluntly, right? First, we had the landline, right? The landline served a purpose.
Yeah.
But if you weren't in, you couldn't answer it. You needed an answer phone, right?
Yeah, the mobile.
The advent of the mobile phone kind of put bed to the whole landline.
That's right.
We've got mobile phone now. Then it went smartphone.
Yeah.
So where could they possibly go with it now?
Well, I believe by the end of this year, or one of the months this year, landlines are actually all going to be cut off, apart from some businesses.
So landlines are gone now, right? So we've abolished that one. Now where are we going? So smartphone, what's next? Come on, I'm excited.
Now there's a lot of if you when I don't know if they do it now, but in this instance, I would need a landline. If I wanted to join up to eBay, when I tried to join up to eBay,
you need a landline.
You needed a landline to prove. No, you needed the landline to prove that you are who you say you are at that certain place. You know what I mean? So I was like, right, okay. And
I get a bit fed up with all them 7-part verification jobbies. Do you know where they need to ring you up or like whatever to confirm it's you? I mean, I appreciate that there's a lot of scams in that, and you need protecting on the internet, but.
Yeah,
it's like they're making it so you can't even log into your accounts because there's so many different fucking answers you've got to give them. It's like, how am I expected to remember all this for every website I use or every app I use or every service I use online?
Yeah, I've done it for jobs.
It's getting ridiculous now.
I've done it for jobs, and there's actually groups out there who actually fake put employment out there just to get your details so they can use them details to fraud.
I see things on Facebook all the time, and it's kind of like it's always asking you about like how many siblings you've got or like whatever. It's just random questions in groups, but it's always questions that if you keep asking enough of these questions, then you're going to get quite a good idea about what that person's about, what technically their passwords could be. You've got a few sort of like educated guesses rather than just stabbing in the dark.
And you need so many passwords for so many fucking things that you automatically think, let's use the same password for a certain amount of them or all of them, and it's like, that's where you get caught out.
You see, where I get caught out is when it asks me to create a password, I just mash on the keyboard.
Oh, see?
Yeah. And then basically, or if there's a website I don't ever want to go back to, change the password and just mash on the keyboard, because then you're never going to remember that password.
Oh, I have a set of mixtures, and then I know certain ones I just change.
But, if I just was signing up to something and I can't be arsed, I just go, numbers.
Yeah, because you can easily change it later on, can't you?
Not if you can't remember the password to log into it.
Well, yeah, because you generally forgot, and you go to your account and you send you, do you want to do a new password?
Well, anyway, we've got more stories. Well, I've got stories to galore. Go on, have you got a story?
Yeah, this phone, new phone.
Oh, yeah, tell me about the phone, man. Yeah.
Right, because landlines are going, companies are going to lose a lot of customers because there's still like landlines.
Who uses a landline now, though?
Companies.
Yeah, but companies use them. But
a lot of people still got landlines at home because
a lot of companies
internet.
Don't even have them anymore. Having a phone on your desk's not like a thing anymore, because a lot of places, if they just give you a company mobile, or you just use your own mobile.
But if you generally go for an internet company, they usually say you got to have a phone line with it. Now, I know there's companies that don't, but generally most of them do.
Yeah.
I don't know if they still do, because it's been a couple of years.
I've been with some internet providers where they've offered me a phone as well, and I've took it, but never used it, and then ended up getting rid of it.
Exactly. The only one they ring is... They must be the only ones fucking ringing me, because no one else that uses it.
No one ever gave anyone the number.
Yeah. And if they do phone me, it's like, hold on, this is fucking dodgy. I'll play with you. I'll play around with you now. Like, what's going on? Yeah, my name's Bill.
It's a scam. I'm trying to sell you. Well, the PPI is not even around anymore.
Well, yeah. Well, last year, 26%.
That was the last time I used a landline phone.
Yeah, it's fucking... No, actually, funny enough, I used it last week. In 2021, 26% of UK households give up the landline number. So now, because of that, they're losing customers. So they're looking at this new phone called VoIP, which isn't a smartphone, but you have to have internet on in the house and the connection. And basically, it's just going to be like... It looks like a piece of glass.
Right.
With
like,
does it have digits
apps or anything like that, or is
it
just a phone?
It'd be just a phone. It'd be just a phone.
It works on the internet.
Yeah,
So it's
you can only
basically like
use it through the
WhatsApp
internet. Yeah.
on a piece of glass.
Because more and more people use it. It's more.
But do you not think that the
used through the
future's
internet
more
nowadays.
going, if we're going to just be limited to using it in the house anyway
Yeah.
because it's an internet-based thing and you've got to be connected to the Wi-Fi?
Yeah. Well,
Don't
fucks
you
if
think,
your net goes off.
But don't you think, well, in a lot of ways, if the net goes out
Or
for
the
a lot
electric
of
goes
different
off, we're all
things, you know,
fucked. Yeah.
there's a lot of different problems opening in them cans of worms. But, you know, if we're limited to we're getting rid of landline phones, you know, the logical evolution to me is the way that it was going with these sort of Facebook,
but they want
camera
to keep
connections where, exactly. But
And
you've
it's
got
more
these
money for 'em.
devices with like video camera capability where you can talk to your auntie on the TV and it follows you around the room now. So why would we want to go to this glass phone option? I think, the only novelty is the fact that it's glass and it lights up, and that's sexy, and I don't dispute that because that's nice. But like, you know, it's still only WhatsApp, and I can still, and if I'm in my house, I can still use WhatsApp on my mobile for free.
Well, yeah,
and
but
then
you've got
again,
a problem.
that's another. No, you've got a problem because
you've got a problem.
How are they going to basically charge me for calls? Yeah, because you were saying they've introduced this phone because they're losing customers off landlines.
Yeah.
They made money by connecting your call over the line, not over the internet. Now, an internet call is free. Yeah, you can get apps to do that.
This is why it's
so
that
is it a case of that you've got to buy the phone and that's the cost, and once you've got the phone, you don't pay any other cost?
No, don't be stupid.
Well, there you go.
It's
a business. So how the fuck are you going to tempt me into paying for calls on a internet-based phone line? Yeah. When I can do it on WhatsApp in the comfort of my own home, connected to my Wi-Fi.
I'll tell you exactly why you're gonna do it.
Go on. I'm gonna do it.
You're gonna do it because the alternative, if it doesn't work, you're gonna be paying maybe double or 3 times the amount than what you're paying right now.
I pay nothing. WhatsApp's free
for your phone.
Yeah, I can ring you on WhatsApp for free.
Yeah,
it's an internet-based phone line.
Yeah,
right?
but other people still use the actual phone part, so them charges and them kind of cost will go up.
Well, that's
massively.
down to...
That is the alternative.
Well, the difference is, mobile phone providers have already got the monopoly. Yeah. So they can afford to give you more data, more minutes, more text messages for cheaper, because A, they're in competition with other mobile phone providers, right? As far as they're concerned, landline phones are so out of the market and out of trend and out of kind of, no one cares.
Thanks for Norwegian.
They don't need to do nothing. They don't need to put their prices up to compete with a company that is still lagging behind on the idea that we could, landline phones are dead, so we need to do something to revive the brand or revive the idea that you can have a phone in your house. Well, I'm sorry to break it to you, but like in an average house, there's about 6 phones.
Well, then pay 3 times the amount that you would any other time.
I don't know. I think
That's
it looks sexy as fuck, the phone, but like I say, I don't know if it's worth it in my opinion. So
no, I'm totally agree. I mean, it was thanks to the Norwegian legal system that they actually, about 7 years ago, they actually went to court to have free
and then
internet calls.
Charge you.
And we got free internet calls because of that. Right. They won the case, and it was brought around the world.
I still find that even though I pay for minutes, that I'll never use my minutes
I don't
because
put
I
any
only
money on
ring
my
people
phone.
on WhatsApp or on Messenger or whatever. So it's like
I've got no internet outside the house. I have no money I put on there. I over the last 3 years, I must have put 60 quid on. That is it.
Skinflint.
Yeah,
He's
and because
like
wherever I'm going, where I could get the internet connections, then I can use my WhatsApp phone. You know what I mean? So, and if it's that much of an emergency,
no, I've been there when
when
my data's gone though, when I've been in the middle of like town or something and I've needed the Wi-Fi and it's been like, oh shit, I've got to connect to a local hotspot or something, and it's a pain in the
I always go
arse.
back to when I didn't have a phone. Well, it's tough at the end of the day.
True.
When mobiles weren't there, it was tough.
You see, when I was in school, mobile phones were just coming out, so it does feel like they've always been there in some capacity. You know, it was like...
When did you leave school?
I mean, well, I'm a bit younger than you, aren't I?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was like when I was in my last years of school...
So we're using brick fucking phones.
They were bricks, but we were in school, our last years of school, and it was like, wow, a couple of the kids have got mobile phones. And then it was like, by me leaving school, I got one, everyone got one, and it was like... it was almost like the dawn of it, where you got Nokia 3210s with Snake on it, and that was about it. No apps. So yourself for a Christmas present when you got a new phone, and it was.
Well, they're not phones now; they're actually communication devices, which you can communicate in so many different ways.
Well, the pocket PCs, pocket computers, aren't they? Really?
And they answer all your questions that you want to know, even though they may be wrong. You know what I mean?
Anyway. I think moving on from this amazing technological breakthrough that is the glass smartphone that isn't that smart, that charges you the earth.
But, it's out now, and,
if you get one, and it is actually better than I think it might be. Yeah. But, let me know. I've got a story here, and it's one for the ladies.
Hey, ladies.
One for the ladies. So this is more women are becoming storm chasers.
Ooh, right.
Defying conventionality and breaking barriers, which I highly kind of root for, because, to be honest, it's like, there's a load of fields that, they've been highly male-dominated, and like, it's not to say, I think more women are bloody adrenaline junkies than men. To be honest, like in a lot of ways, they say that women have a greater pain threshold. So, when I kind of see like, these ladies who are kind of going into hurricanes and storms and stuff just, to kind of gather data, then I see more of that. And is it because there's more women going into the science fields? Because you know what I mean? So. It's like, boys, you know what they're like,
we're great.
We're great. But, like, there's a certain level of messing about, isn't there? Whereas girls are all, like, straight A's and, really...
Well, I don't know these days. It looks like it's switching round.
A bit more academic.
Actually, me and my brother were talking about this the other day, and we actually think it's switched round, that we're more sensible than the ladies are now.
Well, only the adults.
Yeah.
I think kids, you can see it in the kids where you think, like, in school especially, where, like, I'm not saying that the girls don't mess about in their own way, but, like, speaking as a boy, I know, boys will always be boys and they don't grow up. Yeah. There's always a level of
it's a play, man.
Mischievousness even as they get older, whereas, like, girls are a bit more, a bit more academic.
They're in an emotional kind where we're like stupid sometimes.
The idea that these science jobs are, it's more, this article saying there's more women going into storm chasing and these sort of kind of adrenaline fueled positions. Is it more to do with the fact that there's more women going into the sciences? Well,
I think more, like you were saying, I think more doors have been opened, but my personal reflection on it is, if the woman can do the job to the satisfaction, then it has
no bearing on whether what the gender is.
Because there is difference between men and women.
Well,
let's get it right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, it's
if they can do the job, fine. But if they can't do the job, and it's the same with any kind of job. If you get the right person in for the job, sweet. But if the person
it's the same. It's the same argument as saying, like, right, you've got a new starter starting in your steel mill. Yeah, and he's a scrawny little lad. Yeah, with no muscle on him. Yeah, and you're expecting him to lift girders all day. Yeah. At first, he's probably not going to be able to do the job.
Yeah,
not to the expectations that you've got bigger guys who've worked there for years who are smashing it and throwing steel girders for fun. Yeah. But if you've got a kid who's just starting out work and all the rest of it, and he's not, built for the job, he's saying that he's in the same boat. I mean, is that what you're saying? Like,
no, in my personal idea,
because that's a fair enough point. Because I mean, like, if you want somebody,
I would give him time to be able to adjust. Well, that's
what I'm getting at. Is he actually right for the job? you know, at that time. I mean, it's like...
Well, that's where time will tell.
Well, no, it's not a case of where time will tell, because if you turn around and say, all right then, young skinny lad, I know you're young and skinny now, and you might not be really that great at lugging girders around, but in time you will be, yeah? So why not say that about a young woman who's gone into the same steel mill, yeah, for the same job opportunity, yeah, and she's having trouble moving a girder, but you're putting, well, not you, but like society or people put that down to, oh, she's a girl, what do you expect? But there's nobody turning around and saying, well, give her a bit of time. She, you know, these women bodybuilders.
You got to be fair in all aspects. If you're giving the lad enough time to learn and
but
train,
that's what I'm saying.
You've got to give the same amount for the female.
For the females, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if the female can't do it, or even if the male can't do it, then you change it.
Well, you give them a chance, don't you?
Well,
then,
exactly. You give them a certain time.
But that certain time's not going to be enough, because
well, sometimes
like, if you're not built for the job, then it's not for you. Is it?
Yeah, exactly. But then you know, and you'll know faster. I'm not cut out for this. Let's look in a different direction and, like, you know, get a better job and for your body as well as your mind. You know what I mean?
Well, they're not working in steel mills. It's just storm chasing the scientists, basically. But like you say, in terms of, like, you know, jobs that kind of, you know, women used to shy away from. But
not
even shy away from, but more kind of like.
I think there's more egging on for the women to go as far as they can go. Well, it's one of them
you can do whatever I can do.
Yeah,
which is fair, exactly. And like equal.
There's probably women that can do that I can't do.
Probably. You know I mean? Quite a lot, I'd expect.
Well, yeah. Well, it's one of them.
Any more stories? I've got another one about ladies, I think.
Go on, then.
I'm trying to find it now.
Because I got a joint one here. I could go with this.
Well, it's actually a NASA story, so I'll save it for in a bit. But,
right,
go for it if you've got a story.
Yeah, I got two stories together here. Well, you know, last week we were talking about big cats and like
like Britain. The Beast of Bogman, where you get like big cats where people have like owned a pet leopard, and then decided that they didn't want a leopard anymore. It's just massive, and then let it run free on the moors.
Yeah, well, a big cat has been spotted moving through hedgerows and through the streets of a UK town who were on alert, which. Somerset.
So Somerset again. See, that's where they do get sighted quite a lot in Somerset.
They do.
I think that they've had. Somerset's one of those areas where they probably did have a lot of. Oh, we've got so much open farmland. We could totally have a panther.
And it's nice and warm. It takes a
like
nice
they buy a panther and then it runs off, or they just can't be arsed with it anymore, or.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Just
or it escaped from the zoo. I don't know where these creatures come from, but it's not exactly a myth. It is literally a fact that these big cats are knocking about in the wild in the UK.
There's definitely some out there. You know what I mean?
It's interesting though.
But at the same time, in America, in California, in fact. Mountain lion running through offices
at the same time. So you're telling me that this was like orchestrated?
Yeah, orchestrated together. Yeah, Russia decided to push it with the animals.
Wait a minute, you're telling me that there was a big cat in Somerset, and at the very same time they were coordinating a joint
in an office
international effort.
Yeah.
Of big cats to infiltrate an office building. What was in the office building? Was it CIA, FBI?
Funny enough, there was a woman who had an hairdresser who was called Taylor, which I noticed. She
was an hairdresser, but not a tailor. But called, right, anyway. So a
2-year-old mountain lion just basically bold as brass walks through the streets, walks into the office, and then tried to get in the doors, and then fucks off. It's like, what the fuck?
I'm still impressed that they were able to coordinate it from, like it was an
they've got mobiles now,
international operation.
They got VoIPs now, them new phones.
Riding
it under the phone, under the phone.
It's costing me a fortune on this glass thing.
Where's the internet? I can't
get a Wi-Fi signal. My internet's gone down. I don't know why my lion's Welsh.
Oh, yeah, man.
So, did you see this story?
No.
It's well, you don't know. You might have.
I might have, yeah.
Well, I've got a couple of stories. I've got one about, we were talking about the guy who was smuggled over some DMT.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this guy was caught with a dozen lizards down his trousers.
Down his trousers?
He was smuggling 1,700 reptiles.
Down his trousers?
Yeah,
he had a lot of room
person.
then.
Oh, well, that's not what she said. The 30-year-old man was basically brought into
the airport.
Into questioning for smuggling more than 1,700 reptiles into the US, hiding some animals in his clothing whilst crossing the US-Mexico border.
How the fuck?
I mean, it must have been lucrative for him to do it.
Well,
but obviously the trafficking wildlife is a pretty kind of big offence.
Yeah, but they probably the charges are probably going to be really low. Like, maximum sentence probably 2 years or something like that.
Do you think?
Yeah, because this is where big loopholes are. Little grey areas. Right, all right, I can go and do that. I know I can only get the maximum of like 18 months. Right, fuck it, it's worth it if I get caught. 18 months, well, I need an holiday, you know what I mean?
Well, no, he's going to be facing a maximum of 20 years in prison, which is for each of his counts of smuggling for 5 years imprisonment for each count, for conspiracy to smuggle wildlife or traffic wildlife. His sister, who was involved, she's facing a maximum of 5 years in prison for her conspiracy charge.
Where was she hiding it?
Well, no, she was just involved. So
right.
It was like
she was putting him down her brother's
pants.
pants.
A conspiracy is, as we know, it's people, like a group of people who try and pull the wool over someone.
Or you've got information
someone else's eyes, or they're plotting to do something, and these guys all plotted to do a reptile ring. And the wildlife guys have got onto him and done him for conspiracy to traffic wildlife. So whoever else was in the gangs obviously got getting theirs as well. But obviously, Perez, who was the ringleader, faces a maximum of 20 years. So that's 5 years for each case.
You know what? I think he probably won't get that.
You always say they're going to get less than the
Well, yeah, because they generally do. Because prisons, especially over here, prisons are fucking full. And, you've seen the amount of charges
they always say, for good behaviour and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the thing about the American prison system is they operate on a free strikes and you're in for life.
Yeah.
So, if you get done for free felony charges in a lot of states...
And if they're doing them individual, then that's fine.
I mean, that's right, isn't it? I mean, if you're American and you can tell us what that's about, I mean, it's so you could be going to prison for something really dumb.
I can't remember.
But for life.
But I think they were bringing it over here.
You get caught smoking weed 3 times and you're done.
Yeah, I think I'm not too sure. I'm going to have to check it out because I was talking to my brother about it the other week, actually. But I think they brought it over here, or they were planning on bringing it over here. Can't exactly remember. I'll check it out, though.
Well, I've got one more story before we move into NASA news.
Yeah.
Did you see this about the Olympic swimming pool in London? It's the London Aquatic Centre. It remains closed after a gas leak, right? So they claim it was a gas leak. All the news stories that were coming out over the couple of days after it happened, weren't really giving much away. There was one of a fireman who said that there'd been a chlorine gas leak. Right.
Yeah.
Now the first report said that there'd been a major incident where an aquatic centre had filled up with chlorine gas. Right.
Dangerous.
So I was interested because, I think, my head straight away, it's where's the chlorine? Is it's rather being stored in barrels or it's the powder you used to see them throwing into the water?
Yeah.
How is this chlorine being stored? Or was it something that's reacted with the pool itself? Yeah, because you know how it is when you go swimming sometimes, it burns your eyes, the amount of chlorine they put in it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you fuck it, it really does.
Messing with chemicals.
It's really does fucking burn sometimes, right?
Yeah.
So if they've got a lot of chlorine in the water and someone's added something to the water, to get a big surface area of gas coming up enough to, that makes
amount.
me think that someone's, infected the pool, right? Because deliberately maybe, yeah, right. But if there was chemicals stored, you've got to think of like how this gas is going to rise and where it's going to come from and how it's going to fill the building.
Why didn't they have the alarm on it?
Yeah,
why
was there no smoke gas alarm?
Yeah.
So this gas alarm, if there was one, didn't go off, right? So say it was the storage area where these chemicals, chlorine was being stored, ready to clean the pool as and when they needed it, right?
Yeah.
Another chemical would have had to be introduced to that chemical to create chlorine gas.
Yeah.
Right? I did a bit of Googling.
You did?
And the stuff that basically would normally react with chlorine, you probably wouldn't find at a swimming pool, apart from bleach.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So how much bleach would you need to create that much chlorine gas? Now, if I put a bucket of chlorine in a corner and added bleach, that gas would start filling the room, but from a point in the room which was like a corner of the room, basically. Yeah. Whereas this filled the aquatic centre quite quickly to the point where they had to evacuate 200 plus people.
But it's a big building and it's a lot area.
Exactly,
looks like
it's a big area building that generated so much chlorine gas that the people who live locally were advised to open all the doors and windows and get a lot of ventilation because it was going to get into their houses. Yeah, this is how much gas was generated. So it makes me think something was introduced to the pool because you've got a larger surface area, of chlorine-based water, right? If another chemical's introduced, then it's going to...
Yeah, but you're going to need barrels, aren't you?
You need loads of the stuff to make a big enough chemical reaction. That's what I'm saying, to fill a building that big and an area outside it still.
Yeah, there'd have to be a serious problem to actually have that amount of gas in a small amount of time.
I don't know what to make of it. And like, obviously, they're saying it was a gas leak. But
you think it's suicide? Right,
so if it's a gas leak, why are they pumping in chlorine gas into a swimming pool?
Well, no, it'll be the chlorine, won't it? Because
of course, I know that they use chlorine to feed, to clean out, clean swimming pools. Yeah, right. But
them dirty people getting in.
How, I've only ever seen them using it like by putting it in on the surface. Like putting a chemical in the water. I've never seen a gas system or a pipe system in a swimming baths that releases chlorine into the water, and like I say, it's chlorine gas, so it still would have had to react with something to create it as a gas rather than being a liquid or a powder.
Yeah, and this is where I think it's probably a piping system, and a pipe's gone and it's hit possibly a bleach area, or someone's just bleached all the fuck. But still, that's not a big amount. It seems like
too much of
a
coincidence,
to be a big amount,
and that wouldn't, and that would be very noticeable.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Somebody had noticed that and fixed the problem before it got to that stage. Whereas this seems to be very sudden and quite like an instant thing. Which, like I say, in terms of surface area. A swimming pool, adding something to a swimming pool with chlorine in it would make a reaction that would maybe rise gas from every point of that swimming pool.
Well, then they have to work out where the first person who was ill was at.
Interesting,
so they can work out which area.
They were treating people by the side of the road. I mean, there was ambulances pretty much surrounding the aquatic centre. But most, like chlorine gas is dangerous shit.
Yes.
It's like they were using it in World War I, and it was like
Syria war as well. Russia was dropping a lot of
seriously. There was a couple of videos that I ended up watching it, and it was just kind of like grim, and it's not something you want to get.
They shouldn't really be putting it like that kind of on like YouTube and places like that anyway. 'Cause in the old days, you'd call that like a fucking snuff movie.
Yeah, pretty much. It was pretty grim. Moving on to NASA news.
Yeah.
I've seen this bizarre space circles. Have you seen them? They're captured by they're basically radio circles Astronomers have cited only a handful of radio circles, and they're trying to pin down what that actually causes them.
Okay.
So they're basically like, imagine, say, like you got a piece of paper and you get your biro and you do a little squiggle.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like that. Like they're just an amorphous sort of line blobs. Yeah.
Okay.
But like as a squiggly circle. So there, I'm just showing you a picture there. Yeah. Right.
Looks like a gas cloud.
It's almost like radio signals, of some description. So
we're getting a lot of that lately. We've been finding loads of signals from all over the place.
So
technology's getting really
they're catching photos of them now. So there's basically some close-up images of rare, mysterious space objects. The renewed push to discover the origins of the odd radio circles or ORCs. The gigantic rings of radio waves. Only 5 have ever been sighted, and it's never been, in pretty good. It's never been in detail. So whenever they've captured photos, it's always been like really far away. But obviously, technology's getting better.
Yeah.
And when they do occur now, they've got a better chance of capturing
probably
one.
A regular thing. It's just that we don't notice it as much.
Potentially, yeah. But I mean, like they're saying, because they've spotted a new one and they've got one with pretty much a lot of detail in the image, now it's sparked off interest is to find out what actually makes them happen.
Good, gets the scientists busy, man.
The image of the ORC J2103-6200, also called ARC-1.
Okay.
Was captured in high resolution from the Meerkat radio telescope in South Africa.
Yeah, it's nice. But I've actually got a story from that one as well.
Oh, have you? I'll go for it.
They've just found out that they can positively guarantee when a meteorite, when they spot it, if it's going to hit Earth 100% and its location as well.
Oh, yeah, they have actually done it, haven't they? They've been testing it.
Yeah, because the ESA, which is the European Space Agency, has a new MPD monitor, which is a meteorite planetoid defense system.
Yeah.
Spotted a meteorite, well, actually 4 of them, 1924 UTC time, on March the 11th, and Fastly noticed that it was moving very fast, and then they spotted a couple more at quick successions, including the telescope in Hungary found actually the other 4 that was coming in behind it.
But they've never been able to do that with such accuracy, have they now?
And then 14 minutes later, they ended up calling the MPD and telling them that this is on its way, this is where it's going to hit, and then it actually hit Earth at 21:21, and then the second one hit at 21:25 UTC time,
right.
And the location of where it hit was bang on. So now they have found 15 more of them that are guaranteed to hit Earth. Yeah, they found 15 more of them, but
this is it. It's funny that basically this has been happening for ages, and obviously they've only just turned this defense thing on.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, and they've noticed loads of them. So potentially, like, meteorites are hitting the Earth every day.
Yeah.
It's just that they've never been able to go with pinpoint accuracy. Or one's going to land there, or one's going to land there.
Well, for the last, at least 3 years, we've been going through a meteorite shower. We just haven't...
It's funny you never see them, though, do you?
Don't know. There's times when, there's loads of them, you know that there's 15 hit a day and stuff like that, but it's usually about 1 or 2, a couple. Most of them burn up in the atmosphere, but it's like the heavier ones with the heavier elements and, the bigger ones that... we just got to be worried about. But these 15 look like they're just going to hit and, burn up in the atmosphere before they're fucking doing anything.
Fair enough.
Is good.
Well,
which is good news.
I found this story about a UFO sightings. 200 UFO sightings have been reported in Ohio.
Nice.
In a year.
Nice.
So apparently Ohio is the place to go.
It's getting busy out there.
Basically, this is even military personnel becoming more vocal about the phenomenon. Reports of UFO visitors in north central Ohio have increased in nearly 50 years since one of the world's most believable encounters was documented. The Mansfield military helicopter crew.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, well, actually, we've not really covered that one.
No,
the
we
Mansfield
might have to do
helicopter
that one,
crew. Yeah, but they're saying it was like the first big incident in the area.
Yeah.
Happened about 50 years ago. But since then, it's gone up rapid.
Growing.
So
people looking up in the skies. That's
so
why.
it's been spread through the Buckeye State of Ohio, and they're ranking at number 8 amongst the states for UFO sightings, with 4,110 based on recent study.
Nice.
So there's quite a lot there.
There is.
Also, you were saying there was a story there for the ladies. Yeah. So they're building a new. They're doing a new Mars mission.
Yes.
And they're also doing a new moon mission.
They are indeed.
Well, they want to put a new. The first woman on the moon.
Yes, fair enough. Yeah.
So they've give out a new contract, right? So NASA will be awarding a new contract for a second lunar lander, and it's not going to be going to SpaceX. So Jeff Bezos, he was a bit pissed off, wasn't he, because he didn't get the opportunity. He even said he'd knock off $2 billion to let him do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he wanted to be like the guy.
Yeah, he wants to be the man, doesn't he?
He wanted the NASA hat and to drive around in a golf buggy on the tarmac while his rocket went up.
Yeah.
Yeah, penis rocket.
Other agencies like the...
But obviously, there's a new contract going up for grabs, and obviously there's going to be a few agencies going after it.
Yeah.
Do you think Jeff Bezos is going to get a look in for Blue Origin?
Well, they'll probably say he will, but hopefully he won't. To be honest, I don't want to see him go much further than that, how he's gone now, even though it's good for space and science and shit, but
it's just you. It's just Jeff.
He's... You know what I mean? He's under... Well... Yeah, he's like one of them... to me, he's like
Richard
a snake.
Branson up.
Yeah.
Get Richard Branson up instead. I'd say
he'd probably get there first.
Virgin moon buggies.
The ESA, the European Space Agency, they've been going in for this as well. And they want to actually do a lot more for NASA.
Well, they better hurry up because, there's plenty to explore. There's enough to go around. That's what I'll say.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of all trying to go to the same place, you should...
Join together, help each other.
Well, not even that. Yeah, if you want to join together and help each other, that's great. Yeah, if you want to all...
Well, that's what the ISS was
If you definitely want to go to the same place. But why not... If they're all kind of got the heart set on Mars, you go, well, all right, we'll nip over to Venus or Neptune or something. Check that out. I think Russia have got other things going on at the minute.
Yeah, well...
I don't think they're too bothered about putting...
They're still doing space shit.
It's true that, actually. Yeah. They did send up the crew to the ISS recently, didn't they?
Very nice uniform they were wearing, indeed.
Well, I don't think the Kremlin really are too pleased with that one. But
if they're going to get told off when they get back, well, they might not even have Russia when they get back.
Well, there you go. That's the news for this week. Hope you've enjoyed the episode.
Oh, yeah.
If you've got any comments, queries, or suggestions, you know what to do. You can email us at neverstraightanswer@gmail.com.
Oh, yeah.
You can go to the website at neverstraightanswer.co.uk.
Always.
You can hit us up at Twitter.
Yes, please.
At NASA_never. Follow us there. Or on Instagram at neverstraightanswer. Yeah. We're available all over the internet. Wherever you get your podcast.
We're there.
We are there.
Yeah.
You can go... Alexa, you can summon us through the powers of Alexa. You can go to YouTube. You can get us on Spotify. You can go on iTunes. You can go to iHeartRadio. You can go wherever. You can go to
got Brazil.
Redwall Radio.
Yes.
Lots of places you can listen. And we appreciate you. We appreciate you listening to this far into the episode.
Very much so.
Big shout outs to everybody who's listening. We're going to start doing shout outs again.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Yeah, a bit of shout out action. So if you fancy some shout out action, you know where you can go. You can go over to Patreon and secure your shout out by signing up there. Or maybe grab yourself some fashionable merch over at the website.
Or if you just want it said 1 week, buy us a coffee. Indeed. Or even donate.
Donate. I'll have a donut.
Yeah, I'll have one too.
I'll have a donut.
In fact, I've got one in there. I'm going to have it afterwards.
No, I was like, say, it's like just I'm just happy that the people are listening. So thank you for listening to the end. Yeah. We salute you. You're an absolute legend, and we will catch you next week. We've got another interesting topic if the Scientologists haven't come for us in the meantime.
If we don't go disappearing.
It's rather them or the Men in Black. We're always watching our backs.
We are. I swear I've been followed over the last week.
I told you. Yeah. I've been telling people to do it.
I bet they're like that, taking photos of me.
Yeah, well, while you're in the shower. Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll catch you next time. This has been the Never a Straight Answer podcast. I've been Gaz.
I've been Taylor.
Peace.
Out.
And scene.